family. Getting ready to get underway. We got today's crossing is going to be the Albemarle Sound. It's one of the bigger bodies of waterway that you got to cross on the Great Loop. I got the engines just now, started them up, warming them up. Everything's looking pretty good so far, temperatures, pressures. And we're getting ready to haul the anchor and then get out across the sound. You can probably see off in the background, it's pretty big. So I'm gonna go ahead and haul the anchor here, and we'll get this thing underway. Just like yesterday, when my live stream dropped out, it could drop out across here, I don't know. If it drops, give it a couple of minutes and then you'll know if it's actually down, and if not, it just resets, but there's not a lot I can do about it. So let's get the anchor hauled and let's get this show on the road. Let's see. All right, what I got to do is first pull it up until I get to my bungee, and I'll show y'all that. Someone asked me about making a video about what to do, how to haul it by yourself, and I will do that. But I'll probably do that in a regular video. It's hard to hold the camera. Although, FYI, I have ordered a mount to be picked up in Elizabeth City that'll hold the camera so I can do some lives on my regular GoPro mount. So let me turn this around and get it up where y'all can see. Let me go out front and disconnect that, and we'll get this show on the road. Hopefully the sound is better. Y'all let me know if there's any wind noise, because I got a new sock on here, and so we shouldn't have that problem if everything goes well. Let me turn the camera around. All right, let me get out front. If I fall off, someone call 911.
All stations. United States Coast Guard Sector North Carolina. United States Coast Guard Sector North Carolina. United States Coast Guard Sector North Carolina. Break. Time 20:59, Greenwich Mean Time. The vessel is no longer in need of Coast Guard assistance. Cancel pond. Break. This is the United States Coast Guard Sector North Carolina. Out.
All right, we're back. Let's see. Did I put my cooler up here? I'm gonna grab my cooler. Righty, let's haul this anchor on up. Once you get up, when it binds like that, that means the anchor's trying to come up out of the ground. Give it a little forward motion, and it's usually loose. You got to give it a second to do it though. What you don't want to do when you're hauling anchor is use your windlass to pull you to it. You'll burn your windlass up. You want to use your much more powerful motors and just bound up. Let me go up there. So what happens is my chain fills up in the locker. It comes up to a point. I really don't have to have enough room in there. I need to try to move that extra chain because when it comes up, when it comes up to a point and then it binds up. So I need to go down below and move some of it. All right, we got it up. I got that. Let me get it up. Final way. Probably just tripped the breaker, but that's all right. It's up where it won't swing. Let's get some movement. Let me show it down, show you what we're doing. Now I'm gonna follow, get turned around so I get no shallow water. Follow our breadcrumbs back out. Make sure we stay in deeper water. So guys, well, you can watch this. Can y'all see those out there? They're, someone said the other day they were duck blinds, they're correct. And I went out there, I got a video, and I'm gonna probably turn that out on, I'm gonna try to turn out a regular video tomorrow, part, 6, I think, if I'm right. But you know how I do where I am basically. I'm gonna show a little short section of, I went out there and went up in one of them duck blinds. I've never seen one, never been in one. So that should be tomorrow. So the destination for today is Elizabeth City. And I know I'm getting under late, a little bit late, but if y'all watched my navigation strategy video, y'all can see I'm following out pretty much the breadcrumbs. Actually, they go back to the right, but I know it's deep going out to the channel. But if you watched my navigation strategy last night, I was looking on Windy, and Windy showed that in the morning it would be a little rougher than it was at 11, and here it is 11:30, and they were dead accurate. So now y'all see what it is right now. It might be a little more rough obviously out there, but not too much. Actually, as the day goes on, it shows it getting better and better, less wind as time goes on. So we're playing the wind just right to cross this sound. That's what you're supposed to do, and that's what we're doing. Let me get my camera up, my phone on. I'll answer a few comments as we get going here, getting this thing show on the road. I'm just going to push it up here to 8. That's going to be enough. If we can get 8 across, that's better than what the average is of 7. You know, I talked about 6 as an average. 6 is an average when you're in backwaters and you got current and you're fighting current. You don't have so much of that out here, so it's not that big of a deal. What I do like about getting underway a little later is the sun's higher in the sky and not beaming as bad. Y'all see them crab pots, got to watch out for them. That's about the only thing that would mess up our day, is running over a crab pot. We don't want to do that. I want to say good morning and welcome to any new subscribers. This is the Great Loop live streaming. We try to live stream sections as much as we can, and then do regular videos. There's no replacing videos, but then there's also no replacing live streams. They seem to be interesting to a lot of people. Some people have said, oh, they're too long, but the cool thing is you only need to watch what you want to watch. But if you wanted to see more of it, there's more of it for you to watch. There's a lot of people that are planning the Great Loop, and they've never really been on the water much at all, and they don't know what to expect. And I'm trying to reach out to them and help them be able to follow along and see and kind of know what to expect. So to all my regulars, y'all know what I'm doing. To the family, thank you so much for following along. It helps to pass the time for sure. We have a lot of good interaction back and forth on the chat. Heck, y'all get some conversations going amongst yourselves, and that's all good too. I enjoy reading some of that. Got some funny personalities on here. I wished we had a little more way for people to share a little bit better from y'all's end, but as of right now, YouTube doesn't really offer that. Hello, Reddy. Good morning, Stephen. Morning from the UK. Permission to ride along, sir. Permission granted. Thank you for riding along. I need to back up. Slim Stan. Good morning, sir. Bill. Another day in paradise. Enjoying the journey, Mike. Well, thank you for riding along. John. Good morning. Just another dash. Yeah, we doing the dash, baby. We doing the dash. I promise that video is coming out soon, but that's one that takes a little while to put together. And doing the dash, for those that don't know, is basically you're born and you die are the two dates that are on your tombstone. But what people are going to remember you by is that dash in between. It seems crazy that it's just a dash when that was your whole life. Well, folks, I am out here doing my dash. I hope this is one of the things that I'm remembered for, and I hope to help other people to be able to do it, and I hope to inspire other people to do it. The second video I'm working on, which will be out very shortly, will be opportunities for you to come ride along. If you've ever thought about doing the dash yourself and you're not sure, you're welcome to come along. There'll be a small fee, obviously. It helps me to keep my trip going, but you'll get everything from all the navigational information to actually driving, doing some of your own navigating, and give you just a good idea about what it is to be on the boat for multiple days. And then when we do that, it'll be a minimum of 3 days, because if it, it'd be kind of challenging to meet up at a dock, but so we need to do it for at least 3 days, and for you to get, if you wanted some experience, you need a few days anyway. So that's coming along too. But our itinerary today, guys, is across that big body of water right there. Do it safely. I have full confidence that we shall do that. But it's like watching a chain wreck. Y'all riding along, you'll know it if something happens. You'll know it. But we don't intend nothing like that to happen. Trying to get my port engine at a just perfect speed. I think that's it. I think that's it. There we go. Pretty much. So out here in these shallower waters, especially out of the channel, you got to really watch for the crab pots. That can mess up your day. Now, is it fixable? Absolutely it is. You got to get in the water, you got to have a knife, mast snorkel and fins. You got to get below and cut it loose. But it will stop your motors. It'll bind up and usually stop your motor. So if you get in one and you felt it, you heard it, the best thing is to run to neutral real quick, get the prop stop spinning, and then you can always try a reverse, but it usually, in my opinion, that don't work. That works if you get like a plastic bag on there or something like that, a piece of plastic or something. But a crab pot with the rope wrapped up like that, it generally just doesn't. The problem is it will unloop it, but it'll loop it back the other way. So it's just kind of hard to do. So it's not a big deal if you got a mast snorkel fins. You jump right into water and solve your problem. It's like anything. If you're prepared, it just becomes an inconvenience. And then it reminds you to keep your eyes open a little better. Have I ever caught one? Absolutely. I caught one back in Tampa Bay that was in the channel, not a half a mile from the marina, and I had transited that particular channel every day. I went out twice, and this particular day coming back in, I wasn't paying attention. I guess that's why they say you get in accidents within a mile of your house, because you're just comfortable. And I ran right slap over the top of one, and it locked up my darn engine. Now here's the crazy thing, I did have a second engine, but earlier that day we had been out on the reef and we got the anchor stuck and it broke the pulpit and cut the anchor, so we didn't have a freaking anchor. And at the time I didn't have a spare anchor on board, because of course you're just right there at the marina. Why do you gotta in your own your waters you're used to? Well, of course now I've got 4 anchors on this boat. So I got one in the back. I actually used the stern line last night, and I'll explain that in the video why I did that, to keep it from rocking so much. But I got a stern anchor in the back I can deploy at a moment's notice. I've got, there's an anchor up there tied on as a spare anchor, and then there's another smaller anchor, and a secondary stern anchor in the back in case I need it. So just being prepared, I think, keeps you from really ruining your day. But if all else fails, I got boat US and tow insurance, so I'll call somebody to come get me. Feel less wind noise. Good. I got a sock on it, brother. I actually had one, not a sock, but a wind sock. I had one I found, I remembered I was sitting there because I was about to order one on Amazon to be delivered to where I'm going here in Elizabeth City. And I was like, man, I had one. And I got to looking and found it in my, it's not exactly the one, it's made for a GoPro actually, but I was able to make it work on the phone here. So I think I'll still probably get a regular shotgun mic at some point, but at least this will solve maybe that noise. Y'all let me know if there's any problems with it though. Stephen, he mentioned that. Mo, safe travels, thank you. Juan, good morning. Enjoy the crossing. I plan on it. Y'all enjoy it with me. It'll be a good time. I can see the shore on the other side slightly. So there won't be any point at here on this where you can't see land. I know for some people it's a little nerve-wracking to go, but once you've done it a few times, you'll find out it's really no different than being in a river. I mean, unless your engines, you know, both of them shut down for some reason out in the middle, but then really you just drop an anchor and call for help, so it's not really that big of a deal. Mountain Man Jim Reddick, we got a confirmation on the weather, says it's looking good. Ahoy there, Chris. Byron, good morning, sir. Kayak, good morning. The weather looks great over there today. Yep, looking very good. Only thing could be a little storm blow up out of the south later this afternoon with the heating of the day, but we're going to expect that every day. That way we won't be surprised. And is it an eagle or an osprey? Y'all see it? No. I think it's an osprey. I think that was an osprey. Can't say for sure. Kevin, hit the like button, he says. For those joining late, you can always change the playback speed to 1.5 until it catches up in the live stream. Dang, Kevin, I didn't even know that. Thank you for saying that. I sure didn't know that. Very interesting. Wow. Thanks for that, Kevin. Y'all might remind me of that, others in future. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. Let's pin that to the top for now. That's a good message, Kevin. Need to do more of that. John, good 6 to 8 mile per hour winds right now, yeah. And it looks like it drops even a little bit as around 2 o'clock, if you take a look. It's like a good day for fishing. That's true, sir. I tell you what we'll do is in just a minute, when we get on out in the sound, we'll get a line overboard and we'll just see what happens. Florida Buckeye asks, does crab pots have chain or rope? Thank God they have rope. Thank God for the rope. That'd be bad without that. But yeah, they normally have rope, and a good knife will usually cut them loose. Kevin says, hope y'all are all having a great day so far. Thank you, Kevin. I know I am. Beautiful day to be crossing. No stress here. Shouldn't have to worry about anything. I'm excited about getting to Elizabeth City. I've got family there. That I think last time I was up here, I have an aunt and uncle who are quite old and won't see, you know, a lot longer. I hate to say it, but it is true. So I'm excited about seeing them. I got some cousins. I'll see them while I'm here. Somebody also sent me a note. I have to look on the email. Sent me a note about his son and an aircraft carrier is coming in sometime in July, and I'm going to try to make it. I'm not sure if I can be there by boat, but I really planned on trying to do it by truck, if nothing else. So that's one thing I planned on doing. I think that would be awesome to go welcome in the ship with, I'm sure, the hundreds, if not thousands of other people that will do that. These guys have been serving overseas in Afghanistan. I think this is one of, they said, the radio, let me get that thing. We're doing a lot of chatting on channel 16, they ain't posted. But them guys and girls have been serving overseas for quite a few months. I think like 7-month deployments, what he said. I sure appreciate their service more than words can ever say. So if all goes well, I'll be there. If I can't get there by boat, which it looks doubtful, I think I'll drive up and try to figure out, and of course I'll probably live stream that but also do a video for future reference. Hey Jules, good morning to you. Welcome aboard. Joshua, good morning, safe travels. Thank you, sir. RC, good morning. Captain Mike in chat. Switchback, always look forward to seeing you go live. Thank you very much. I enjoy it, and I look forward to it too. It ends my solitude. I like a little solitude, but I'm more of a outgoing person, as you might guess. And so I enjoy the interaction. I've taken people's advice, and if you notice, I changed the name to the Great Luke live stream, so when people are searching for that, they will see it. And then we added a section in the name for John Ravenwolf, thanks to him for coming up with it, for the navigation strategy session. Y'all look forward, y'all see that each day at the end of a travel day is how I figured it would work best, where I can, you'll know where I'm at, because I'll talk about what we did that day, how many miles we did, and then I'll talk about our strategy for the next day and where we're supposed to be. So since I think there's another great idea there that was kind of unintentional, and that is obviously I'm on a solo trip now, and there's a little bit of rethinking that must be done when you're on a solo trip. So I'm going to be offering for y'all to be able to follow along on a service on Nebo. Originally, that was going to be strictly a mug club thing, but I do believe, though I really muchly appreciate my mug club, and I'll find ways more and more to show them appreciation, but I also think it's, with the live stream, your ability to see Nebo, see where I'm at, and also in the event something happens. So we'll get to know over time. We'll talk more about that. But obviously, yeah, and I've got Mountain Man Jim Reddick. He keeps up with me on a daily basis, at least a couple times a day. And I tell him where I'm expected to be. Of course, my family too, but he's pretty much a co-pilot right about now, to where if I go off the grid, he's going to be trying to contact me. And then if something happens, you should be able to look on Nebo and know exactly where I am. Along those lines, I'll have to make a couple little changes. So y'all seen me go out on front today without a life jacket. If I'm on any big shore crossing, and now that I'm by myself and I can do it, I plan on going some offshore. Y'all haven't got to see any offshore work, and I definitely plan to do that through, if all goes well with the weather, but from Cape May to Sandy Hook, or at least some portion of that. So what I'm getting to is I got to take some other precautions. So one of the precautions will be, if I'm in a bigger body of water and I have to go up front for some reason or whatever, one of the precautions I'll take is I'll have my PFD on, and I'll have my VHF in that. I have a handheld VHF, and I'll also put my spare cell phone in there, just in the event, something could happen. I mean, I don't talk about it a lot, but I am diabetic, and if I was to have an episode at the wrong time, let's say going down the side of that boat, and you'll see, maybe you've seen before, but there ain't a lot of room going down the side of the boat. That's the only drawback to this Carver. But if I had an episode and I went overboard and, the boat's moving along or whatever, well, there you go. You could have a problem. So I don't think I'll go as far as clipping in. Sailboats are more set up for that. I think I'll be okay. But, we just got to have some general safety rules. So one of them will be, like I said, if I'm out in larger bodies of water, then I need to put on my PFD when going outside, if something happens, or obviously if it's dark, I need to have it on when I go out. But as a general rule, let's just say, pretending you're watching Nebo and You see, let's say I'm offshore and you see the boat turn and it's going offshore for some reason. Well, something might be up. Something might be wrong. Or you see Nebo, what looks like it's sitting in a bank somewhere. Yeah, it might be a problem. But that's why live streams work out good. Y'all are with me on most of the trips. The vast majority of the trip, actually. So we'll get through it. It's another chance to show different ways of doing it. Not everybody, you know, will have a companion at the time that they want to do it, and or, you know, a buddy boat, any of those type situations. So you got to roll with the punches. You got to roll with what it is, and that's exactly what we're doing. So just gonna make some rules to make it safe and some more options. I hope that'll be good for y'all. Let's see.
Sailing vessel, passing red 20, and that's the sailing vessel passing red 20 on the ICW on the Alligator River.
Perplex says, peace on the water, gorgeous ride. When will you be docking in Elizabeth City? Should be there, man. I hope. I'll stretch the thing here in a minute, but I had to guess I'd be there by 4 o'clock anyways.
Sailing vessel passing red 20 on the Alligator River.
He says, I know there was at least one waterfront restaurant with a dock. There's actually, I think if I remember, 3 city docks, which are free, that are all part of the Albemarle Loop. I'm gonna do a video specifically on that. There's a lot of people don't know what it is, but it's a smaller loop within this area. It would probably be a great jump off or shakedown loop for boats that are considering whether they want to do it. I don't remember what the mileage is, but I think it's a couple hundred miles. But within that loop, there's free dockage, and they're all part of this club where you get to stay at the docks for a couple of nights free. So anyways, we'll talk more about that, but that's where I planned on being. Adventure is a happy hours. Good afternoon, sir. Iva, good morning. Brian, good morning, Mike. Boy, the sound did not look like that when I was through there. Looks like an absolutely beautiful crossing, ain't it? The truth. Some days, man, that's why you got to cross it on the right time. But I got to tell you, you know how it is. They can change on you. They can change on you quick. Let me see. I'm gonna stretch some mileage now for where we are going.
Sailing vessel passing red 20. Sailing vessel passing red 20 on the Alligator River.
Set up a mark here across the river. Select, go to, shows us 15 miles now to the port, to the other side where we're going. Let's see what the wave action is going to be. Hopefully, right now it's beamy, so I'm gonna go down here and turn to port. So that'd be awesome if that's the case. I'll get a quarter. Man, they're doing a lot of talking. Channel 16, my God. Hope nobody's in emergency.
Hey, you're the sailboat right behind me. I have the green and white Endeavor. Don't see you. We're heading south. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Wow, they're doing way too much talking on 16, y'all. You're supposed to call and say, sailing vessel so-and-so, this is so-and-so, because y'all supposed to monitor channel 16, and then you're supposed to say change to channel whatever, and no more talking, because, man, if somebody started taking on water at that time and you're jaw-jacking on channel 16, that's going to be really bad. So, yeah. We used to have that problem in the fire service. Mountain Man Jim Reddick, you know just who I'm talking about. AO 1968, thank you, brother. Thank you for your support. I'm gonna have a beer on you this evening. We get in. I hadn't had a beers and it's Mayo Seafood. and mainly because I'm out. Good. There you go. Change to 17. Good gracious. Talking too much. Let's see. Hey Jules, I was thinking about the safety aspect of your traveling alone. Glad that you were planning on taking the proper precautions. Yep. Shoot me an email if you think there's something else I need to do. I don't claim to know it all, that's for sure. But really the way I'm doing it with these lives on move days, y'all know pretty much exactly where I'm at, where I'm expected to be, and the Nebo will just certainly add to that. I need to say that this trip is definitely to this point sponsored by my Mud Club members, my Super Chat family, people that are helping out, people that buy from the website. It helps out tremendously. It's quite an expensive undertaking, but y'all are definitely, I don't have any type of sponsors for the trip, so y'all are my sponsors, and I'm gonna make a point of thinking of y'all more often, because y'all are certainly helping out. Let's see, Mo C, what happened to Marty? He's pretty much ended his trip, so we'll leave it at that until any other things have to be addressed, I guess. Mountain Man Jim Rick, he got my back. Always has. AO 1968, great picture today. Yep, it is looking nice. These are the kind of days that the Great Loop is nice and fun, nice and easy to do, no problems. Getting actually some bugs. Lack of wind is actually a little challenging right now. But what I'll do in here a minute is, so y'all know I have solar panels on the boat, and I promise that video's coming real soon for a walkthrough. But the solar panels, when I'm underway, keeps my refrigerator going. I do plug it into the generator at night, just don't want to burn my batteries all the way down. But then also during the day, I don't have to have the Jenny on. I can have a fan up here running off of my solar panels. I can have the refrigerator running off of it, and during the day, on days like this, it's creating plenty enough energy to keep all that going. But I should get a little wind here in just a minute when I turn. We're gonna turn back to port here on that marker, green marker. Actually, we can start turning now. We'll get a direction of where we're going. Right now it shows me getting across, being on the other side at 2 o'clock. That's a little better now, getting a little wind. That's a little better. Get the beam, the wave a little bit more. More of a port beam wave now. A little better, it's still a little rocky. May turn a little bit more, and then at the last minute turn back south if it keeps doing that. Yeah, I can. I need to move this anyways. I didn't have that in the exact right spot. So let me do that. Select, navigate, go to. That's a little better. That is actually going straight to it anyways. So I can't really see. I can see a body of land down here. Y'all can't see it, probably. Maybe you can, I don't know. But it's actually rocking a little bit more. Read a few more comments here. I'm only in 13 foot of water though. Looks like it ain't gonna get much deeper either. Arthur, great that you have cell service out there in Albemarle. Who is your service provider? Verizon. And yep, they, from what I can tell, in the Marine, they offer the best talking to different people, and I'll tell you, I've had T-Mobile, I've had Sprint, and I had one more. I forget the name of the carrier. And Verizon is the best so far, than what I can tell. So we might drop it halfway across, but I doubt it, because I know there's a tower right behind me, and I suspect there's a tower in front of me. So chances are we won't drop signal. I'm gonna turn a little bit more into those waves, just to keep it down a little bit more. This is where we talked about somewhat attack at the right angle, so it just makes your ride better. And this is actually a little more of this wind earlier was showing a due west wind, and this is actually feels more like a little bit of a northwest wind. Actually, let me look at wind. I guess it is. It's actually more of a very little north component of it, if at all. No, mostly a western wind. A little bit west. But it's supposed to actually lay down as time goes on. It's really been good weather for both of the crossings, though. I know some people were joking about getting seasick when we crossed the, y'all remember the Pamlico River towards the end, and the stream drop. Yeah, it was getting pretty rolly there. Twice I looked at my stream and it had dropped, and I'm carrying on the conversation, just talking to myself out here. They say it ain't a sign of crazy to talking to yourself. It's only when you answer yourself, that's when you get a problem. So I didn't answer myself. I looked down though twice. I'd hit retry, and it started to stream, and then it dropped again. I said, well, I guess that wasn't meant to be. And it was starting to roll pretty good then. But I turned into the waves and got closer to shore, and then it was good to go. But thank goodness there's not a lot of crab pots right here. And just to my port, there's a lot of crab pots. You probably won't see them. You probably can't see them, but it's almost like they're keeping them out of the channel here. Thank goodness. I don't have to deal with them so much. Now we get a crazy wave set coming in here. I can't see it with or without my glasses. It's hard to see. Good times are back there, or halftime I should say. Dinghy's back there pulling well, coming away from the shore. Y'all can see it there. Again, when you're talking about crossing a big body of water, and I've crossed a few of them where you can't see land, you really just have to think about putting in perspective. If I've made what I think, let's see where we are. That's a good question, and I'll come back to this point. Let's see, home, trip, select. That was coming, otherwise I would have turned into it. So we're 1,350 miles in. So when you're talking about crossing a bigger body of water, you just say to yourself, well, you just made 1,350 miles with hardly any problem. Why is this going to be any different? There should be no reason. The only problem with that theory is if you get in offshore to where it is really windy, and then you subject to get into more rolling. More rolling can cause problems. More rolling can cause your tops to weaken. More rolling can cause water, if you have water in your tanks, where if you're in a smooth body of water and your tanks and the water settles, the gas is up, all of a sudden you start sloshing around. Those are things that can happen and you got to be, just aware of. But as a general rule, it's like crossing any other body of water. And actually it's feeling nice and cool now in that direction. I am trying to take more of a, yeah, they definitely build up out here, but I'm definitely I'm gonna tack more toward, might add maybe 3 miles to it, but to get this waves like this, keep them on my bow, I'll just tack, when I need to be going there, I'll just tack this way, keep them on my bow, because there's a couple of them that's bigger like, that's a decent one. That one, if you hit sideways, it'll rock you real hard. So we'll tack like this for a while, and then we'll turn, and it'll be on our quarter beam. Quarter aft, I should say. Only problem with this is I'll probably get closer to some of the crab pots. But as according to Wendy, it lays down more and more as the day goes on. By 2 o'clock, which I'd probably be on the other side, but by 2 o'clock it showed it down to like 6 or 8 miles an hour, the wind, so we'll see if that keeps going. Let me read a couple comments here. Mark, hello from Bay City. Hippie Conquer, looks like a great day to cross. Yep. Obviously, back there we were on the lee of that point where we're getting out, but still, you ain't gonna get too much better than this, not on the whole body of water. I mean, you could wait days to get to a perfect crossing where it's perfectly, and then I'm not ever gonna say you're gonna get perfectly flat, but you kind of can't really do that if you're moving. You're gonna see a lot of this in the Chesapeake. We'll just have to, like, we'll say, okay, this day looks okay, just we're gonna run up here 12 miles, 15 miles and go back in. But then I'll just try to pick days where the water's off the bow, the waves are on the bow, and it is what it is. I can tell you from experience, when I came down in 2004, I was in a 23-foot boat. This is a 32-foot boat. And because we were doing it more like just, we got point A to point B and we got 2 weeks to get it, we decided what our mileage had to be or close to it, and that's what we shot for. So most days you had to just go, like whatever. If it was, on most days you still had to go, but you might have to adjust which way you went. So for instance, the story, we were in the Delaware River getting ready to cross to the, would it be the Maryland shore, I guess, up, or in the Virginia shore, to cross and go that way. And we were talking to some captains in Cape May, and they're like, we're telling them where we're going, whatever. Now you always had the option of going up the Delaware, up the Delaware and down the Chesapeake, but if you look at it on the map, that adds about, at least 150 miles probably. So we're like, we didn't really want to do that. So the captain's like, well, he's like, there'll be a ferry leave out in the morning, and there's ferries there to cross. He's like, just get in there and follow that ferry, because that day it was good 3 to 4 foot waves crossing the Delaware River, and it was rainy that day too, and I got video of it actually. And so he's like, get in there, the big ferry will knock the waves down and you just follow that. It's like, all right, cool. So we're up the next morning early, we're sitting out there, got the boat running, we're out just outside of the entrance there at Cape May, which is a beautiful freaking place. I'm excited about getting back there too. And so here comes the ferry, man. He's easing past us to the channel. He gets to the channel. Man, that dude gets on top of the water and he is freaking gone. We fall in behind him, but he just runs off and leaves us. I mean, like, he's just gone. And we could run, like, I think the top speed on that was 27, 30, something like that. I can't even remember, it's been years ago. But the point of the story is he'll run way faster than what, unless you got a fast boat. And so he run off and left us. So guess what? We start hitting them waves. We're like, this ain't gonna work. Because at that point, we're going into them. So we turned around, went back to Cape May and regrouped. And we're like, we got to go up the Delaware River. And at least by then, we were going, turn back a little bit. At least by then, we were going into the waves. No, I'm sorry. Let's see. They were on our beam, but we could kind of go slower and ride them. And it wasn't terrible until we got to the very top that day of the Delaware River. And that's a whole nother story, but I'll tell them stories again. You'll probably hear me say them, but definitely when we get to those places, I'll tell them stories to hopefully make you aware of things to things to think about when you're doing your trip, or what if you don't do a trip, whatever. A couple of wave sets. It's almost like a little road wave. I think they say it's like every 14th wave or something like that. They're a little more than that. Let me turn these around and you can see this. Gotta keep my foot on the camera thing here. But we'll be across it before you know it. Let's see here. Let's see. Everything blew past me. Cardinal Ariel says too much chatting in the aviation lot too. Looks like a gorgeous day. Yeah, I think I was joking a while ago. It's the same way in the fire service, police service as well. And you're trained about that. Probably should do a video someday about it, but you just have to treat that as if that's an emergency channel. It's not for a talk around channel. Coast Guard already gives, a lot of latitude to allow people to use it, since it's a channel that everybody is supposed to be monitoring while underway. But you get people on there that I think it's mostly out of ignorance. They haven't really thought it out and understand that what if, while you're chatting, someone starts taking on water and they can't get on and call it a mayday. That could literally mean the difference in someone, surviving, possibly. So it's better to come on there if you're going to use it. Just say, like I'm MV Good Times to the selling vessel northbound at so-and-so. Change to channel 14 copy, and they'll say copy changing or whatever, and then you're only on there, 15 seconds maximum? Not to them, back and forth, whatever. Don't do that. It's not good. It's unsafe. But in the fire service, we had people that, man, it's called, they're forming their thoughts as they're talking. And you're trained, literally got classes, in some classes you're trained, before you squeeze that mic button, think about what you're going to say so you can say it and get it out. Because if someone's inside in the fire and you're chatting about whatever and they get into a bad situation, that's just crazy. But yeah, so it happens all over the place. Doing man stuff says smash that like button. Thank you, brother. That is a true statement. Mountain Man Jim Reddick. You hit him dead on the head. Never know who's following though. We gotta never use them. Yeah. Keep W. Thanks for the cruise during lunch. Awesome. Thanks for riding along. Y'all know it goes to standard video. You can always watch it under the live tab, and then you could scan through it. You know, if you're one, obviously I never had time to sit around and watch them start to finish either, but it definitely helps the algorithm if you leave it on if you're at work and it doesn't cost anything. That's good. John Ravenwood says he'll have it on even if he's walking around working, but he'll have his little earbud on, and if he hears something exciting, he'll stop and look at it. That's another good way of doing it. Sharing them really helps. If y'all like what we're doing, share it to your family and friends, and you know, maybe if they got time to watch, they can watch. Kayak 7 Seas, thank you, brother. Kayak 7 Seas has a YouTube channel, and he helps out as a moderator on my channel. He works from home a lot, and he helps me put up things. And my ship store is where if you want to support, buy t-shirts, the mug club, my books, any of that, that's a great place to do it. Thank you, brother. Thanks for sharing that. Keep W. Let's see. AO 1968. Absolutely. Thanks for riding along. This is like a partnership. Wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing it. So I appreciate y'all coming along. 11 miles already to our destination. Let's call it 12, 11.8. So we done burned off 4 sitting here talking. So far the stream looks okay. For those coming in late, this is the Great Blue live stream. Just stand out, make sure y'all can still hear me. Yep. We try to stream these each day when I'm getting underway. So for those that just enjoy coming along, you keep following along, and it'll be like you done the whole trip with me, because I'm trying to live stream every time I'm moving. Obviously, like yesterday, I'll drop the stream, but you know, I can't really help that. But you'll kind of get a good idea what it's all about. The interaction between us is great, and I enjoy it. We also, at the end of the day, we do a navigation strategy, which will be me talking about what our strategy was for that day, how it ended up, and if any changes, why. So you can kind of get a mindset of why that is. And then we do the strategy of what the next day's move is, and you know, why we're thinking about that. There's some cool apps that we use that will definitely help you if you're planning to do anything like this. So FYI about that. So now I think getting far enough, I'm gonna turn here in just a second. Let's turn a little bit. Tack back sort of the other way, get that beam behind us. Yeah, you can see when we get sideways to it, bounces you pretty good. Let it get behind us a little bit. And that's a little better. Be a little rocky, but you can't continue on the wrong tack or you'll end up in the wrong place. Beam, see, this ain't too bad. I'm actually running in the exact right direction now. So that little tack took that beam off, and then when I'm talking about the beam waves, when you're taking them on the nose, you can just ride them, but when they're coming to you from the side, it's obviously doing that. So if you could quarter beam it from the, you know, either side, forward or aft, that will help you. Big old sailboat throw their sails up, and it'll lay them down in the water, and they don't even hardly feel it. Good times is sitting right up on top of the water, so she gets all of it. Oh, I like it, John. We're the Good Times Nation. Purchase a mug every year and offer support that you feel led to contribute, because we're on the same loop run with Mike, and it's definitely cheaper for us. Man, I so appreciate it. That's a great thought. That's a good time nation. Man, you keep coming up with all these good things. I might end up putting you on the payroll, John. Venture is Happy of Ours says, Tommy asked, what plan do you have with Verizon? I'm guessing the use of loads of GB. Actually not like you would think. So Verizon, on their unlimited plan, you only get, what is it, 15, 20 gigs of data, but that's if you're using a computer. That's why I'm using the phone. That's why I bought a spare phone. If you are live streaming, you can live stream without it burning up your data. Otherwise, we'd have been done a long time ago. This would not be possible. So for the Good Times Nation, as John calls it, let's hope that they keep it going like that. And I can live stream from my phone. That's why I like the Live at 5 when I started doing it, when I first figured it out, and everything is done from my phone. I would love to do it from the computer, because I've already downloaded some apps on the computer that allows me, like I could play music, you know, I can show you graphics, but the problem is it just eats up your data. Can you imagine live streaming, you know, a 2-3 hour crossing? Your data, you'd burn your data up, I imagine, in just a few days. So with Verizon, as long as you use your phone, you could stream, you can watch movies, you can do anything if you watch it from your phone. And so here's the secret. Now, you know, with everything that you can cast your phone to your TV, think about it, you can live stream, or excuse me, you can download, you can take a movie from any service, like I use Prime Video. I can watch a video on Prime Video long as I watch it on my phone and cast it to the TV if I wanted to. So then you can watch it on a big screen. Now, the little TV I had on board quit working. The salt finally got to it. Nothing lasts on a boat for sure. It quit working, so I haven't been doing that, but I am considering getting one, and you know, if I wanted to watch movies. But to be honest with you, and I'll probably show you this on whenever I do my boat tour, I lay in the bunk at night, and I got a little phone holder, you know, it's on an adjustable little arm, and I actually watched a movie last night. The subscriber said check out this movie, and I watched it last night laying there on let me answer this real quick. Hold up. Okay. Really? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Is that on the county on Dobson though? On the road, county road Dobson? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, shoot me the picture and I'll figure if it's something Ray and Nero fix, I'll call them. I'm on a live stream, so I'll call you back later after I get the picture and all. All right, buddy. Thank you. I will. I'll have service. Well, I got service now, but so maybe not on your end, but I'll have it. All right, man. Perfect. All right, I'll call you later. Somebody up on the hunt camp, please. There's a problem up there. I'm president of that, our hunt camp, so I deal with issues like that. So let's see, get back to where I was. So yeah, that's it about the data plan. Tommy, hopefully I answered your question. Jono 99s, how you doing, sir? From Melbourne. Probably a little hotter there than it is here. Possibly a little more muggy. Y'all seen that boat pass out across there. Jay Hen, good morning. Help with the gas going over to Big Sound. Thank you so much, Jay Hen. Thank you so much. And you're always helping out. Got to do something special for sure. Let's see. Backcountry Pipe, has the feel of the trip changed much traveling solo? What's the vibe like for you now? Hopefully you're still enjoying. Kenny and Jimmy, at the end of the day, cheers, Mike. Absolutely still enjoying. It's actually a little less stress, and I can, let's just say some of my plans were altered, you know, trying to consider my buddy boat, and now I don't have to do that. So some of the things that I wanted to do that we couldn't as of yet, we'll be able to do. So you'll just see in time. I'll let you be the judge of that. So no, I'm absolutely enjoying it. My favorite part of the trip, as y'all can imagine, and I talk about it all the time, is meeting people. That's on here at ports or whatever. That's one of my major, one of the things I enjoy the most. I'm a people person. I like to video that. I like to find out stories. You find out there's so many cool things, you know, and people to meet, and we weren't doing very much of that. So as you'll see, time goes on, there'll be more of that, and there'll be more of me stopping at more ports and not being out like in anchorages where yeah, there's solitude, and like I said before, I like solitude, but I don't like it. I like a day or so of solitude, and that's enough for me. I'm ready to get back and, you know, chat and meet people and whatever. So yeah, but we'll let you all be the judge of that as time goes forward. But absolutely, I am enjoying it. I will continue. This is something I plan to do for a very long time, and I'm having a blast. I'm very much enjoying it. Again, I'll be offering for people to come along now, where that won't create a problem for me. Again, I had to consider others, and now I don't have to, and I can do that. So we'll just watch over time, and then you make up your own mind. Dave, good morning from Southern California. Hope all's well there in Cali. John, really, let's see. I didn't quite understand that, John. I answer myself all the time, and you gotta realize these are kind of behind for me. I'm answering stuff. All right, man, I ain't calling you crazy. Don't say I called you crazy. No, that's what a joke. I've seen that on some movie or something sometimes, but let me get past these. Y'all see all these darn crab pots? I don't know if you can see them. Like dancing around. Gracious. They ain't very though, guys. Oh, my plugs are like, I'm just now seeing 18 feet, and I think my shallowest one, I don't even think I have top water. I think my shallowest one's a 15. I can't really be pulling a plug in this. Yeah, so I'll be lost it. So far the stream's looking good. Seems to be pulling along real fine. Hey, Jay Hen, how about send me an email if you will? Mike at michaeljsteen.com. I need to chat with you offline a little bit. Captain Sully, good afternoon, sir. Everything is well. Making a little crossing. Making way, doing good, doing the dash, baby. Christopher, hey, your navigation segments are awesome. I'll be joining the Mud Club. Info is super valuable. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Christopher. I appreciate that. I will continue anything that y'all think of. You know, the challenge here is, you know, I know what I know, right? And I don't know what other people don't know. So, and people have pointed this out to me, and I'm trying to do better at it. And I'm trying to basically talk through what I'm doing and why I'm doing, so it's helpful, because, you know, in my mind, I know exactly, you know, what to do on certain things. So you'll hear me basically talking out loud, and I'm just trying to share as much information. And then here's the other crazy thing about YouTube. You got people dropping in and dropping out on the streams at different times. So I'm constantly going back trying to say things that I've already said that people may or may not have heard. So that's why I do some of the things that I do. And people have pointed that out to me. Thankful. People that that help me move my truck, we have a, you know, we usually is an hour or so or something in the truck, and we talk, and I'm always asking them, and I'm always trying to get feedback about turning back into the way back a little bit. I'm always asking and trying to get feedback as to things like that, because it's hard to think of everything, and people point out some things that you need to do. It's been very helpful, so I appreciate all that good feedback. Greg, Chesapeake has so many creeks and rivers and marinas, you can always short hop it if it's rough. Exactly, Greg. That's exactly what I'm planning on doing. I got to tell you, like, so the Chesapeake is kind of sort of the end of the sightseeing, let's say, part of the trip, and I planned on, depending on, you know, God willing and good times is doing well, and we get on up there, I want to spend about a month in the Chesapeake doing that very thing. All them cool little inlets and rivers and creeks, like you say, I definitely want to experience them. And that way, when I'm going up the bay, I'm going up at good times in right seas. So yeah, I'm really excited about doing that. Again, if you have any particular really cool places, must-see things, you can shoot me an email at mike@michaeljsteen.com and mention it, and I'll look into it. I've gotten several, and especially things that are cool to go video. Good gosh. Yeah, let me adjust that thing down. Gosh, people talking so much. Little wave coming there. Turn into that one. It's like, where they come from? Where them three sets come from? See no boat passing out here doing that. Well, at this point, you're starting to see all the shore now. Y'all can't see it, but I can. I can see the entire other side now. We're about 9.6 miles from the opening of the river, where we're going in, which I think is actually over there. And I'm tacking right now. I'll tack back in a minute. So like on these, you get the right little set to turn back so it don't bounce you too much. I'm fixing to see one here. And then I'm gonna turn. Now for that bounce. go. How you drive has a lot to do with how smooth the ride is, I can tell you that. So, set up on our right. So that point right there is almost looking straight at where we're going. I know y'all can't see it, it's probably not showing that on the camera. Let's see. Robert, how you doing, buddy? Joe Fox, what's up? What's up, man? Caribou, hello from British Canada. Author in September 2019, I was running hard from a Hurricane Darian in my Carver 3607. It's Cat 5 pounding the Bahamas and heading north. Unlike how I had no cell service. T-Mobile there. Yep, that can be a that can be a challenge right there for sure. For sure. The wind was 20 knots southwest. The forecast was no better. I was low on fuel and running too slow to conserve, but by mid-afternoon, a tug pushing a huge barge pound from north was past me into Alligator Sound. I asked the tug for a hurricane update. He had no cell service either. Weather radio was too general. As he passed down me, I could cross Albemarle Sound behind that incredible platform. I asked the tug captain for a close follow, explaining my problem. He agreed. I stayed the right in the slipstream of the tug all the way across. Never could have crossed Albemarle without that tug. Ain't that something? Yep, ain't that something? Yep, because in those winds, I don't think I would have tried it. Short of something like that, I wouldn't have tried it. I'd have found my little hurricane hole on that side over there somewhere, but yeah, things happen. But back whenever we were moving that boat, I was in a similar situation. And you basically just had to go, you know what I mean? Kind of like you when you had the storm. Funny enough, on that particular trip, there was a hurricane looming, but on that particular trip, it was heading north and it was offshore about 100 miles. So though we got some rain bands, we didn't get any, major wind out of that. So in some degree, we were, trying to run south because you could tell the closer we got to Georgia, how Georgia dips in the coast, we would have more relief from the storm. So I guess in some ways it was something kind of similar. Let's see. Get Smart. Hey Mike, I've trucked for years on Channel 9. It's the same thing when we use CB radio, by the way. Yep. I'm guessing it's across all platforms, brother, best I can tell. Love your channel. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming along. It's kind of funny when I first read that, it was like, Get Smart. Hey Mike. I didn't recognize that being the name. It was like, smarten up, dude. Smarten up. My ex-wife used to tell me that for some reason. I don't quite understand it. Never knew why. Brian, good point, buddy. So Brian's wondering about every now and again pointing to the GPS. Absolutely. I do that is like when I think of it. So anytime you want to see the GPS, just type in show the GPS. But there we go. Let's scan out a little bit. It's kind of hard to be a little harder. Let me keep from. Let me see. Let's see if I can turn this because of the way it's. There we go. Oh. And that one caught me a little bit sideways. So look at my squiggly line, but that's what you got to do in sometimes like this. Let's see how I can hold this drive at the same time so I don't crash. So let's back up and look at my squiggly line. The line I was on. Y'all see how I've had to tack. See if it'll show. There we go. So you see I've had to be tacking back and forth to try to meet that line, that track. So when you start out, there's breadcrumbs is what we're doing. The purple is the direction you're supposed to be going in, as well as in front of this it shows you a line. It kind of shows you like how well you did, whether you stayed on your line or not, kind of. You see we're in 18 foot of water now. Distance 8.7 miles. We're running around 8 depending on when we get a wave, what it does. We go back to that. Fixing to tack back here the other way because these waves are a little higher right now. Let me get a turn back. Tack into it. There we go. That might be a little better. Quarter that one for a little bit. Couple ways. It's supposed to have been laying down more. See as time goes on if we're right. To get more into it, I can look at that. Got to pay attention to these waves and actually do some damage. So distance 8.63 miles. Arrival is around 206. Anytime that bottom one is our position in the case of an emergency, time of day, depth. That water temperature is not 87. My transducer is in the bottom of the boat. So that's the temperature inside the engine room. I know somebody said that, they mentioned that the other day, and I thought, well, next time I show that, I've got to remind you of that. That is not what the water temperature is. That's the that's the water temperature in the engine room. You have to set so FYI, you set your you take, or at least what I did, the way I did it, I didn't want to have it on the back of the boat for multiple reasons. So bigger boats usually set them down in the hull, and you just take silicone, clear silicone, and you make a big old blob, making sure that you don't have any bubbles in it or air pockets in it. And you make a big old blob, and then you smash in the transducer right into that silicone, and it makes for a nice, almost like, like it's setting into the water. It'll shoot through your hull as long as you don't have a bunch of air bubbles in it. It'll be okay. So, try to port these just right. I can make a way making some tack too much and you're not freaking getting to where you want to go. Need to come up with a way to remember to show that GPS. Those that want to help with that, you just might say, you know, show the GPS, and of course that reminds me to do it. Let me turn a little bit, got a little set of waves coming. Definitely helps to hit them on the beat right on the corner. Windy, showing it's starting to lay down at 1 or 2. So let's see if that holds true. We'll make it here regardless, but it's better the flatter it is. I don't know, I guess this kind of adds some little character to the trip, we might say. Live stream is still there. Thank goodness. We're over the halfway point, guys. Are we? Let's see. What was it? About 16 miles. Yeah, we're over the halfway point. We're at a good angle now. Just passed an alien in the bay there. Did he say hi? Nope. Missed him. Missed him. Good question, Steve. Which had stabilizers? Yeah, you and me both. How often would you have needed them? Only on the bigger river crossings. Nothing else. Obviously, Cape Fear got a little sporty. Cape Fear was probably the biggest one. We had a little section there. It started out real nice, like ones, and then because we actually caught up with the tide, there was a section that was losing an engine, guys. Just lost an engine. That's no good. All right, well, that just got interesting. We just lost an engine. Don't know why. Huh. Let's see. Not sure what happened there. We did just lose an engine. I wonder if it's that thing again. It did seem electrical. Kinda. Temperature's up. Alright, well, we're gonna keep working as is on one, going a little slower, so we get a little bit out of the rock, and then we'll figure out what happened. We'll do a quick peek down and just make sure there's nothing real obvious, but we just lost an engine, starboard engine. That is the engine that thing goes bad on every now and again. And I was beginning to think we had figured it out, but there you go. Well, that just made things a little more interesting. Travis, sounds good, brother. Meet up in Chesapeake. Dang, let's see. All right, yeah, it's getting a little rolly too. I'll just wait a second here. I don't know. We don't know if it's cold yet or not. Hopefully that's all it is. Well, it's nice to have two engines, for sure. Let's see what's going to happen here. Hey, the good news is I could float to that shore down there. We lost another one. Might not be where we wanted to be, but we could float down it. Oh, that's an interesting thing, y'all. Yesterday, guys, I shot some on the video talking about it because the live stream was down. But when I came out of the Alligator River, inside, it opened up into the bay. Obviously, it's still considered Alligator River, but I'd call it more of a sound, real wide. So I get down in there, and I knew after traveling, it was what, 2.5 hours to get through the small section, or the narrow section, let's call it. I knew I would stop and take a break. And so I did, but when I came out in the sound, I realized the wind was blowing exactly down the sound, like it's coming straight down the sound. So I cut both engines off, and then I just started to freaking floating, and floated, I guess, and had lunch. I made lunch, made me a sandwich, and had me some chips. And I sat there for about 30 minutes, and it was floating about 1 mile an hour, floating down the sound. So, yeah, it's crazy. So, in other words, I told that story. We might end up floating over there. We want to be over here. We want to be more over that way. We got about another 7 miles, and we'll be tucked in behind that, where it is that we're trying to go, which is actually right in there. Check something. Unless my fuel consumption went through the freaking roof. Did we run out of fuel? I don't think so. That didn't seem like a fuel thing. I do have 20 gallons of extra fuel here. It's 20 miles. I don't think that's what it was. Well, if this other engine shuts off, that's exactly what it was. Not according to my gauge, though. Just a minute, I'll go down there and take a little look and see if I can figure out. We're going a little slower. Try to keep a better angle on it. Yeah, for those that are just watching, I've had this issue. If it's the coil, I do have a spare coil, and it was lasting they were lasting about a month or so, 2 months, and I guess if I had to guess, it's been about a month. About 5 or 6 weeks. I got it on the date on my in my book down there, but my coil would go bad every so often, and I'd usually just continue on, let the engine cool down, get to wherever I was going. I wasn't in the middle of a big large sound like this, but That could be fuel getting, like I said, shook up. Could be. I could check that pretty easily. If you want to know if it's fuel, is take your let me try to miss that crab pot. I think I want to turn to miss it. It's a challenge of steering with one engine is it wants to do its own thing sometimes. But just wanting to turn, not wanting to turn right. They're coming around a little bit. But anyways, if you suspect of it being a fuel problem, is spray your carburetor with some fuel start, and if it cranks up, you could have a fuel issue as far as watering your fuel or something. I'll try to work on a perfect angle now though. Come see land up there where we're working toward. If I had to guess, I'd say I'm seeing a few less white caps, so maybe it is starting to lay down. According to Wendy, it was going to lay down later in the day. Yeah, it is laying a little bit. According to Wendy, it's coming. Or the wind is going away. Down south of us, or no, east of us, it's actually already blue. Sitting here thinking about things. Already said you may have thrown that belt. No, it wasn't the temperature. I was watching that. Jim Ray say, "Oh man, running out of fuel has happened before." You're right. It has happened before. Probably happen again. Yep, that rolling can definitely stir them tanks. So I'm obviously down lower. I should have had, let's see, let me go back on the trip, 113 miles in, and I'm supposed to have 180 mile capacity. So obviously we're getting lower in the tanks, and when you get lower in the tanks, too much shaking, if you got any water in there, that'd be the key word, if. We could definitely mix it all up. But it does appear like they're even laying down now. The seas are laying a little bit. So in just a second, I'll go down and at least take a quick gander and see if I see anything being the obvious. If there's anything obvious. Then what I'll do is, if need be, but the thing is, both tanks were topped off, completely topped off. So if it's a fuel issue, I'm gonna run out of fuel on the other side, and I'll go down and check my gauge up here doesn't work because I run by mileage. I'll go down and check that gauge in a second down below to see if what it looks like. But it showed yesterday a half a tank right after I stopped. Unless it's off that bad. But the point is, I got 180 gallon capacity on here. At a little less than a mile a gallon, you'd consider you'd make, you know, at least 150 miles. And I know that I'm getting really about 0.9 roughly miles. That's why I do always carry extra fuel on the boat. You never know when something can happen. So let's stay tuned, figure out what happens here. Keeps laying down here. I'm gonna go stop and go down, but these waves, I don't want to get off. I want to turn sideways. It's too hard to get the steering back. Plus I gotta hold this camera. The camera wants to fall over. And when you're in a bumpy area like this, you probably want to not be running up down them stairs. But it's getting the best of me to want to know. Let me slow down. Let's go down there and look, see if we can see anything obvious. It's gonna get bumpy for a minute, because we're gonna get beamed to this. There it is. That's why I'm too excited about it. Hopefully we don't knock us off the stream. But with these waves like this, it's gonna get bumpy for a second. Let's do this instead. Let's try to just turn into them. See if that'll help. Let it move a little bit. Yep, it's too bumpy to do that right now. If I needed to work on that, I could drop my anchor. You're only in 18 foot of water, but it's too bumpy to do it. Get a little closer and then we'll worry about it. Too bumpy, folks, too bumpy. Try to get that back in my holder. Drink. Thirsty. Yeah, most likely it's that darn, I thought I had that fixed with that new coil wire. Most likely that's what it is. If I had to guess, it's that coil wire. Most likely. And if that be the case, it's just going to be a matter of changing out the coil of the new one I got. Which the only bad thing about that is that's $29 a month oil charge. But you got to figure out how many miles it's getting on it. If you're down, if I was back home, you'd only be doing that every months apart. But when you're traveling almost every day, you know, there's some finite amount of coil time, which is not. There's something causing it. But if it was that new coil wire, almost like wishing it was gas, not the coil wire. I'm glad it happened like here and not getting ready to dock or going through some tight channel somewhere, going under a bridge, something like that. That bridge, my stream was off, so y'all didn't hear it, but see it. Yesterday, I went through that Albemarle swing bridge yesterday, and the wind was blowing pretty good when I went through there, and it's obviously very tight. And I did have that thought cross my mind. I literally thought that for a second, and then I was like, well, maybe that coil has solved this problem. Maybe it was that coil wire the whole time. We'll keep, so that if it's the coil, that means it's probably that external resistor getting hot, and that's the next thing to replace is the external resistor, because that's about the only other thing. I know some people said distributors, but in my mind that doesn't make sense. Now I do have inside of my distributor it's a electronic, it's not points and condensers, and it's not electronic distributor, but it has a little electronic piece in there that I have had to replace before, so I guess that is a possibility. But that was years ago. Driving me crazy to go down there and look though and see if I can figure out what that might be. Let's see here. May have thrown that belt is possible, but I actually double checked that this morning and retightened that, so I don't think that's what it was. And that, if it was that low ready, I think the temperature would have shot up on the engine, because that was the only one that had any looseness to it was the raw water pump belt. Jay Hand, you can't get this kind of great loop anywhere else. That's true. Y'all watching live, y'all figuring it. Hey, y'all figuring it out just like I am. Real life as it happens, Mountain Man. Oh Lord, don't even go there, Raven Wolf. Are you kidding me? That's the only reason I made it so far is these fine Chevys that's sitting up in here. These 350s are getting her done. Shoot, Ford, I'd have been stopped back there in Florida. You kidding me? Y'all keep telling them lies to yourself. Shaky one. I'm gonna try to see if I can pick out where that exactly my point is. I think my point. Can't see any markers. So let's see. Alright, I see trees up there. Now that I'm getting closer, I can go better by start getting landmarks. Turn the GPS and point it right to where I want to go and try to get a direct path. Now I'm going a little slower. And at that point I'm going right for, alright, I see a tower off in the distance. That's my point 2 area. Now if I can keep that, I'm going as straight as I can get. Hey, Adventures of Happy Hours, y'all read that comment. I should pin that comment to the top, to be honest with you. know that's right. Hey, Hardy Ray, one of my bud friends that helped put these motors in here, he finally gave up on them Ford here about a week ago, about 2 weeks ago, I guess. Bought him a Chevy. He finally had enough. He said he finally got wised up, joined the club. I said, yep. Smart man. Hopefully we don't have but about 5 miles and the rocking will stop. Enough I can get down there and start trying to figure out what it is. I'll probably go ahead by then, be cool enough to go ahead and switch out that coil real quick. I'd rather go up the bay with 2 engines instead of 1. But the good news is, once we make this corner up here, and I don't know if y'all can see it yet, once we make that corner, we're not going to have any more wind, especially no beam wind. I don't mind a north wind. This would be nothing if we was taking this on the bow. Actually, I guess this quarter one's pretty good for driving, because when you got 1 engine, it sucks driving. With a following seat, it'd probably be even worse. So I guess I don't want to complain too much. Yeah, it'd be nice if it's just a coil like it's been. It takes me about 5 minutes to switch it out. So the only times that I've had issues where they shut down, it was either the coil or I run out of gas, one or the other. That was it. So I guess we got a 50-50 shot here. Of course, we ain't went down and looked in those engine compartments. There ain't no telling. There could be some rods blasted through the top. Ain't no telling. You never know. But it's definitely looking less and less white cappy the further we get that way. So that's all good. Just keep on making way. In about, we got 5.5 miles and we're running 6.5 mile an hour, so just under an hour we should be tucked in behind that little peninsula there. Let me scan back and see it. Yep. We'll be tucked in behind that peninsula there and won't feel the effects of this wind at all, hardly. Very minorly anyway. Be nice to get over Elizabeth City though. I got somebody lined up already to come help pick the truck up, or pick me up, take me to my truck, which is in Washington. Thanks to Joe, he helped move it from Oriento to Washington, and then I'll get it probably tonight or no later, probably tomorrow, and get it to the docks there where I'll be at in Elizabeth City. And then so I'm planning obviously I'll deal with the whatever engine first, but I'm planning to visit some family while I'm over there. But I'm also, once I do that, I probably will drive out. I'm gonna look around for some things to video, some things to do, may possibly drive out to the Outer Banks. Haven't made my mind up about that. I think that'd be good for some video, and do some, for those that have not been there, on the Outer Banks are really cool. Over on the East Coast, there's Kitty Hawk and Kill Devil Hill and a lot of cool places that would probably be great for video. So I was kind of thinking like that, since I was going to plan 4 or 5 days, and then this coming Saturday or Sunday, whichever day it is, when we know for sure when the USS Eisenhower is returning to Norfolk. If it's where I can, I want to drive up there, like I said, and greet them people coming back. So that'd be really cool. Greet them true heroes for sure. All right, those crazy right there waves are off from what the rest of them are set at. Those waves were going that way, and these are coming from the side. Isn't that crazy? There was 3 of them. There might have been a big boat pass somewhere, and I didn't see it. None of them are dangerous. It's just uncomfortable to your boat. Stuff falling over. Don't want to do that. I see what I believe is a marker. I think that's my point of my first green marker. I don't see any between here and there on the map. The marker that I'm going to start pretty close to pivot off of. So yeah, we only got 5.1 miles up to there. And we'll turn inland. Go in behind the protection. Afternoon, Ken Lanier. A little update for those coming in later. We just lost a starboard engine a few minutes ago. We're limping along on port engine. So far, so good. We've been wondering what that is. Is it that problem with that coil? Could we be out of fuel? Don't think we're out of fuel. Chances are, but I ain't even went down there and looked because it's still pretty bumpy. So I want to keep working and get to a little more protection, and then I'll stop and we'll try to figure out what it is. Probably just once we get up in there, just stop and drop the anchor for a minute. Or first we'll go down there and look and see if we see the obvious. If there's not anything that's the obvious, probably go ahead and probably will actually drop the anchor, and then because even if we don't see the obvious, then we can't see a bad coil. Well, I have seen one where the top popped off. Y'all remember? That was a bad coil for sure. So if we can't see the obvious, we'll replace that coil. That won't take but a few minutes. I'll be able to take you below for that. Never happened to my darn. Oh, there it is. A camera holder. Speed, Joshua dropped from 8 down to between 6.5 and 7. But if the waves quit, it'll be 7. So you only lost a mile an hour with one engine. It's a lot harder to steer. You could do it if you're in like the little rivers or whatever, but certainly out in the water when you got waves, it's a lot harder to steer with one engine. You could do that by cutting down. Yeah, we see there now, John. Stephen asked, have I replaced? Yes, I haven't replaced the ignition coil wire. That was what I've read. People sent me things about that, and one article said that that was the most likely possibility, was that bad resistance building up in bad coil wires. So that's what I did. I ordered one and replaced it, and now that's been like I said, I have to look, but I want to say 5 to 6 weeks ago. So, you know, I don't know. We'll know here in a little bit. We'll know from the time I stop up here and replace that coil, if it was a coil wire. Because if the other coil is bad, then something is still burning it. And from my reading, something is causing them to work harder than they have to, and it burns them out. According to everything that I've read, that's the problem. And that the resistance in the coil wire, like you're pointing out, is the problem. But unless I've got a bad coil wire, which is highly unlikely, then that's not the problem. So we'll see what when we get over here. I got a spare coil, so I can quickly change that out and know right away if that's what the issue is. North Carolina Outer Banks favorite beach. Yep. Ken said, Brian, you got to sit back and relax. Good times and do it on one engine. Yes, make sure you're shut the key off. Start running to real problems. Send me an email. I got friends up here. Okay, cool. No, Jim, you don't have one of those plug-ins on maybe the newer boats, not an older boat. That'd be cool. Ken said 10 miles west of a site called Harvey Point. I'll have to look into that. Might be a cool little place. I know yesterday, and y'all didn't get to see it because the screen dropped, but they had again, they had these jet fighters. I'm not sure exactly what they were. They look like F-16s flying over, and they were doing this pattern where they would come up off the bow as I was traveling, and they would come right over this river. So if they were doing it today, we would have a great view of them, because they were doing it over the river, I'm assuming, in case they crashed. They were always over water, but they come up, and they were about, like, I don't know, 2,000-3,000 feet when you first see them, like they were following the river, and then they would turn and shoot straight up, and each one of them done the exact same pattern, and it looks like over and over and over. So they obviously had something that they were doing, you know, that they were training to do, and they would shoot up, go straight up to several thousand feet. I don't know, you know, how many feet it were. They would disappear in the clouds if there was a cloud there. Then they would bank hard left as if they were running out over the ocean, and then you would hear them. They would come back. By then, they was coming straight over the good times. So they were coming straight from the ocean at a high rate of speed, and then they would go and turn when it got well behind us. And so to me, it looks like there's some air base just up the river that they were taking off from. So those that know the area would know where. Up the thing made a different noise there. But you know, I was listening there. But they were somewhere up the Albemarle Sound is what it looked like they were coming from. Because it looked like they were taking off, and it was 5 of them pretty much in order. They were well apart, but then you could see any 2 at any given time. So that's pretty neat watching them run those maneuvers like that. So there's a marker here, and it's not showing what that marker is for. In fact, I don't even see it on the map for some reason. Oh, maybe it's that one. Trying to see what this marker is. That thing don't have nothing on it. No markers on it. Must be a light. Yeah, it's a white light. That's what it is. Shows on the map as it's a white light. Alright, so there is where we're going now. Can y'all see the tip of that? I don't know if y'all can see the tip of that land. Yeah, you probably can just make it out. There we drop in behind that tip of that land, and the waves will be pretty much laid down, I would think, by then. We'll stop and try to figure out what the deal is. Getting a little less bumpy. Fixing to run up a pelican. I know he's thinking all this water out here, and you got to run right near me. Oh, he out in the water because all them pelicans over on that sign. See if he's gonna try to go up there. Yep, he's gonna go up there and sit. It says, I'm just amazed that you, Mike, while folks watch your live stream and post a thumbs down. I can understand some being unhappy that Marty is not with you, but you don't deserve that kind of resentment. That's true. I've always wondered, but I guess in anything there's haters. But yeah, it don't make any sense. Why watch? Unless I guess that it's possible that they're watching and they're clicking off. I know some people they think it's maybe like a video, although it clearly says live stream on it. So they're expecting the video and then they click off. But that's probably more what people's expectations of what they think it is. Well, it's obviously a live stream and it's bringing you along. And some people, this is what's crazy. Some people who say, man, you doing them live streams are just too long, and I'm like, the response is, well, simply don't watch. Watch what you want to watch, and then turn off what you don't want to watch. It's not, that to me is, that don't make a lot of sense to me, is that. Let me see. Looking at my map here. Turn in these waves one more time, I think in a minute. Then we'll be good to go. Yeah, I don't understand. Camp Lejeune, Dean says. Dean, where's all the shrimp boats? I don't know, man. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. Really, I haven't seen any since, as in none, since Mayo Seafood. Haven't seen any out in the water, but of course, when I left Mayo Seafood, and I did see some boats offshore out here yesterday, but I couldn't tell what they were. I do remember I seen a barge. I could tell what that was, but you know, it was 10 miles away, 8 miles away, so it'd been hard for me to tell. But I remember seeing some boats out here. They were larger ones, but maybe they were shrimp boats. I don't know, but there's sure none out here now at all. So that's pretty interesting. Steven says, how old is your battery? You know, year and a half old. But I can tell you, I don't think that's it, because I have not just a dummy gauge, but I have a digital readout of my battery, and it stays at 13, like pretty much 13.4 with no dragging whatsoever, during startup. So I have had batteries that they go bad, and I actually run mine. So some people run them, some people run batteries like together, single, you know, it just depends. Everybody's got their opinion about that. I run mine together always. So the reason I do that is because I know that if I have a problem with a battery, I also have a battery charger on here that has boost capability, and I have a generator. So if something was to happen, I can eliminate the battery as an issue. Where if you're on a boat and you have a 2 battery setup, and you have your house and you have your starting battery, and you keep them separate, I can understand that if you don't have a generator, as in a smaller boat, you know, and you keep them separate so that, because you don't have a generator and you don't have a battery charger if something was to happen. So, so that's how I run mine. And no, I don't think that's it, because I see that every day. I see that, you know, multiple times a day. My car, top of the midday cap to you. Just updating those that come in, just now coming in. Good times. We're working on one engine, starboard engine shut down a little while ago. We're debating what it is. I'm thinking coil, and I'll know within 3 miles. I'll stop and change that coil out. We'll figure that out one way or the other. So, John Raven, haters unfortunately live a miserable life that reflects their character, focusing on making others just as miserable. That's what it is, John. You're a wise man. You've said many wise things, and that's what it is. A miserable person tries to pull you down, which is crazy. You'd think they would try to, you know, feed off of you, but they just try to pull you down. I'm telling you, for that is the truth. Love this. Yeah, don't stop. Not going to do it, brother. Not going to do it. We keeping this thing going till we can't go no more. That's all I can tell you. We keeping it going. Don't worry. I got people that, you know, supported me to buy into Mug Club, and you know, it's kind of like a contract to say I'm going to do this thing, so I'm going to keep doing this thing until I can. And then there's really no reason. The worst thing that could happen is to blow an engine, and that might slow me down. But y'all know, I'll snatch that engine out. It might take me some time, but I'll snatch that engine out and put another one in there. Transmission, whatever it might be. We're gonna make it happen, for sure. Brian says, I have to check that spot out, Brian. Hey, Brian, can you shoot me an email at mike@michaeljsteen.com? I won't be able to remember those numbers. That way I can put that in, and I'll check that. I'm assuming, what waterway is it in too, Brian? I'm assuming it's in ICW, what you're talking about? Oh, Ken says, I watch some of these weather chasers in live streams that do it for like 12 hours. Yeah. I actually haven't seen them. I've seen videos, and you know, I fell into this live stream in the Great Loop. I just, you know, out of showing people what I was doing, and, you know, people talking and asking, and to be honest, where it came from was being behind on my videos, right? Y'all know how I'm doing them. I'm now doing like a current section in the beginning and then the loop. So you eventually see it, but I wanted to show you live and up to date what was happening, and that's where the whole screen thing, you know, we started doing the live at 5s, and those were working good. Those were the, hey, this is where we are, this is what we're doing kind of thing. But then we had lack of participation in that, so I had to move on to something a little bit different. And it kind of just grew out of that, hey, let's do these lives while underway. And then I think when that Lake Okeechobee crossing was when most people were like, man, that was cool, you know, being able to follow until the signal went out. And then that was a problem. Let's see, along with, I like the fact that you just roll with the punches instead of falling apart over what ifs. Keep up the can-do attitude. That's why I ride along. Absolutely, brother. It's my only way of thinking. It's my only way of thinking. I can't think any other way. That's how I think. And if I could impart that on somebody, that is the only way to think. You know, you approach a problem, because I'll promise you this on the Great Loop. I promise you problems will occur that if you don't have the can-do mentality, it'll stop you. I'll guarantee you there's enough challenges that'll happen. But as in everything in life worth doing, and everybody's seen it, if you're above 25 or 30, you've seen it, that anything worth doing or anything worth having takes time and it takes commitment, and you just have to keep pushing, because something will happen to make you question it, you know, whatever, and you just got to push. You got to push through. A slowdown is just a slowdown if something happens, you know, as we've seen. You know, you just do what you got to do to fix the problem and keep on going, brother. There's just no other way in my mind. I don't know any other way of doing it. Navy Dad, his son's in USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. Man, what a great deal. You tell that boy thanks for his service. We appreciate it. And I hope to, as I said, I don't know if you heard me when it came in, I hope to be up there to live stream that when they're coming in Norfolk. So that was one of my plans when I got here. I know we don't know an exact date yet. You know, Naval doesn't put out all that information until it's obvious. But I want to be up there, follow it. You know, if I can be, I want to live stream it, video it. That'd be a cool thing to welcome them guys and girls back. What a great thing. Gives me chill bumps just thinking about it. Steven doesn't have an ignition control module. It does have one. And I thought for a while that being a possibility, but it was always tied back to every time I replaced the ignition coil, it ends up being that. As in, that fixes it. So it doesn't fix it completely, but the problem, it cranks back up. So what is it caused? We don't know till we replace it here in a little bit. Looks like I dropped for a second there, guys. Looks like I'm back. Somebody was asking about the ignition, you know, wires and whatever. Hopefully it doesn't drop anymore. We're getting closer. It shouldn't drop. Y'all can see what happens here in a little bit with this engine. But anyways, so the problem is fixed every time when I replace the ignition coil. So something is causing the ignition coil to burn out. All right, so in my thinking and other people's thinking that I've sent emails and we've talked about this, it was change the ignition coil wire. That was, according to the article sent multiple times actually, that is the most common culprit, is a bad ignition coil wire. So I did that, and I can't tell you until I get down there in a little bit, in about 2.5 miles or 3 miles, something like that. I'm gonna stop and anchor and we're gonna see. So stay tuned, we'll see. My car, I love these live underway streams. Plus, I bet it's more fun for you. Gives you a means to just converse with us folks talking about anything and helps pass the time. My car, you are 100% right. It probably would be a definitely in a boat that doesn't run hard. It would be definitely different if I didn't converse like this. You bet I'd be calling up people just talking. I'd be calling friends back from high school. What's happening? What y'all up to? But no, this works out great. Y'all kind of get to follow along at your leisure, and then I love the interaction back and forth. Y'all are teaching me stuff and telling me places to go and look at. I'm getting tons of support like this, so yeah, it's pretty exciting. I like it, man. Stephen, last thing I can think of is control side and the primary side develops a short to ground. You know, I have looked at the wires to make sure of that back, like in the beginning, not saying that I overlooked something, but I have looked at that, like just trying to see wires and tightening things, because oftentimes that'll be one of your first things is to have you know, little wires shortened here or there, especially on saltwater boats. But let's see here in a little bit when we replace this coil. Let's see what it does. Gives us another piece to the puzzle. If it's a bad coil, then it ain't the coil wire. Then, like I said, the next thing is looking at the ballast, the external ballast resistor, and I will replace that here in Elizabeth City to see if it's that. Nathan, keep safe on your travels. Michael Steen, have a great day. Thank you too, sir. Thank you very much. Steven says, by the way, can't watch negative people, drives me nuts. You're a good positive person. Right attitude. I enjoy your posts. Real-time streams. Thank you, sir. I shall keep it positive. Trust me, no worries. No worries. The ICM could cause the coil to continue to produce start energy after starting instead of running energy. May look like that fixes the problem, but then burns out the coil. That's possible. Yep. Hey, Jules thinks I need a parrot to talk to. Yeah. Yep. Only problem is, all the parents I know, they talk back, cuss at you and stuff. I don't know, huh? It's true. Lucas swells are great. I'm assuming, G. Making the boat rock. It is. It is. Yeah, you should be here. Mountain Man Jim Reddick said he was watching, what was it, day before yesterday when we crossed the Pamlico. It was rocking so bad he said it felt like it was making him seasick. Connor Ario was lucky enough to get a tour to Eisenhower a few days before it changed the command ceremony. Awesome opportunity. They were finishing the bush in the next lane. Ain't that something? Man, I tell you, that is something. That is something. I may try to reach out and see if I can't get a tour. I may try to do that. Whoa, that's a big one. Rocking and rolling, baby, rocking and rolling. I should be seeing a green marker out here somewhere. It's starts the line going up the river. Knows this rocking's making sick. Hopefully about 3-4 miles it stops. All right, Brian. I see that. Thank you, Jay Hen. I'll respond to you. I'll reach out to you. Land ho, it's true. Teach him scriptures, keeps you in line. Ain't that the truth? Girl, that's the whole reason. That's the whole reason. Let me just tell you. That's the whole reason I keep it straight. No other way. I tell this story, and you know, I always tell people attend the church of your choice, but I've had careers that, you know, were dangerous for sure. And if I was a negative person or worried, like, I would be worried to death. I mean, I just don't do it. You can't add another second to your time. I guess you could take it away, but you cannot add another second to your time that you're spent to be here. So I don't worry about stuff like that. My time clicks on that clock, I'm going, for sure. Be happy to go. Palooka looks beautiful. It is, brother. Even in the little adversity, if you look around, that's a good point right there, man. Sometimes if you get this focusing on your problems, right, you don't see the good. You just miss everything around you. So why they say don't do that. Focus on the good. Approach your problems, deal with your problems, and then focus on the good that's around the problem. Sometimes you miss the good that is there. And many times you're brought to the problem for a reason. I'm always convinced of that. I could tell you story and story after that about that very thing. If something happens and I'm like, boy, I'm glad that happened, because at the time you couldn't see it, and then in time you could. That man said he dropped off in a tire in a ditch watching that rocking. Almost got that truck stuck. Captain Sully, looks like a beautiful day out there, a good day to be alive. Hey man, every day above the ground's a good day, ain't it? It is. When we're younger, we don't think about that as much. The older we get, you start realizing waking up this morning was a privilege denied to many. Many died yesterday. I'm gonna live every day to the end. My car, glad I don't have a gimbal. I don't know if y'all hear the seat rocking making that noise. Because the rocking shows it for more real. That's true. Now that is true. It does add to the realism for sure. Yeah, because it's hard. The camera doesn't quite show you the height of the waves. I guess I should turn it a little bit. We ain't looking at a different view, but there ain't a lot to look at different. Yeah, say need a gyro stabilizer for his TV. That's pretty funny. Tim, am I staying in the ICW or Dismal Swamp? Dismal Swamp. Dismal Swamp. Bro, I've been, the Dismal Swamp is a straighter mainly because I'm going here, Elizabeth City. So, I want to cut up through the Dismal Swamp. But I've been reading about this thing in the Dismal Swamp, this whatever creature thing is. So I'm kind of be on the lookout for that. But yeah, the Dismal Swamp's a cool place. We did that coming down. Y'all will see I'll give you plenty of notes. Be sure to live stream that as much as we can. But looking on the map, when I was here in 2004, the Dismal Swamp was more, let's say there's been some buildup since then. It seemed longer with nothing, but it's still, you know, not short trip, whatever, but there's the Virginia, North Carolina Welcome Center is right in the middle. That's kind of cool. Probably stay there overnight. And then we pop out in Norfolk, which for effective reasons, that's Chesapeake Bay. I'm really excited about that, passing Norfolk Naval Station. So by then, the Dwight D. Eisenhower should be in port, and I'll have seen that come in. I should be able to have like 2 views for you on that one. Those videos would be cool. So yeah, I'm sort of excited about it. You can see the green marker. That's pretty much, if I had to guess, #1 green marker for the channel. So the roly-poly should stop when we get in behind this land right here. Once we turn, but we're going to turn up, start going up the sound. The rolling should stop. And we'll stop, drop anchor for a minute. We'll just find out what the issue is. Yeah, effectively, nope, this is it's marker 173 of the ICW markers. Let's see. Lucas said, hit that like button to see more lives on the Great Loop. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Luke. I appreciate that. And share it with your friends. Let people know. First of all, there's a lot of people don't even know the Great Loop exists. They don't even know what it is. And then there's a lot of people that don't know that we're live streaming the Great Loop. So y'all are the first part of it. Y'all will be here in the beginning. We got to come up with some way too, because I got some of the great same followers that's been following. Y'all know who you are. And I got to come up with a way to show that. I'm going to be working on a way to show that people that were kind of here from the get-go. So hang in there. It's probably going to be like a running list of names on the videos when I turn out videos. When I get to that section. Oh, that's a big one. Probably the last little hoorahs before we get in there into protection. But yeah, share it as much as you can with your friends. You probably got friends that will enjoy watching it. Brian, hey Cap, will there be any legs of the tour that'll take you offshore? Yes, there is, and intentionally, because there were, I just try to generally go around the subject, but there was opportunities before and we didn't take them, and now I kind of regret that for my content. But definitely what the plan is right now, at the bare minimum, when we get to Cape May, my planning is to offshore the rest of the trip from Cape May to Jersey to Sandy Hook. So FYI that's what my plan is. Let me scan in here. All right, so we're coming into the channel here with that marker. So it's a little tighter, a little more aggravating now. I do see a couple whites up there, white caps, so hopefully as we tuck in here behind, we're going to get less and less of this wind. It's actually getting a little windier behind me, which it showed at So that's what you kind of gotta expect to have that on any crossing. But you see this land, it gets less and less once we drop in behind that land, for sure. But yes, I will definitely live stream some what my plan is, and I will wait to catch it on the right days just so I can do it. I've done it before, and you can look back on my channel on trips on trips down to the Keys. Me and Mountain Man Jim Reddick was just talking about it, where we'd go offshore and stay overnight, go up near, get off about a mile off the beach and anchor up there for the night. Just for reasons I hadn't done that yet, and I'm going to do that for sure up there. I would like, if weather permitting, to go off at Cape May and stay, like I said, all the way to Sandy Hook. But so you'll be sure to see that. That'll be kind of cool. The downside is it kind of gets boring too, because you don't have anything to look at. It's like being out there in the middle of the river just now. It's not the danger aspect. That gets a little boring. But the cool thing is I can for sure troll while we're doing that. And then it'll just be kind of cool. I can't live stream obviously the whole thing. That would get probably boring anyways. But what I can do is I'll do multiple live streams when we do that. Like I'll live stream in the morning for a while, then I'll live stream midday for a while, so you can kind of see, and we'll do it on a time schedule so you'll know. I'll live stream for an hour or so midday so you can see what the conditions are, and then I'll live stream at night, probably while I'm cooking dinner or whatever, so you can see anchoring up offshore. And then I obviously live stream next day, same kind of thing. 2 days should put me up pretty much close to Sandy Hook. So I have got to look at the fuel consumption there, and that would be a factor. I may have to, figure the fuel out. That's where I may have to stop at a marina, FYI. But anyways, so while I'm mentioning that, if I got anybody on here, so I know that I could get my vehicle all the way to Norfolk, and wondering if anybody is on like the southern shore of Virginia or wherever, because I want to get the truck up to the northern shore of that peninsula. I'm not even sure what you call it. I guess that's Maryland, of the Maryland, where you cross over to Cape May on the if you got anybody there that lives in that area to help bounce the truck, reach out to me if you would on mike@michaeljsteve.com. And then I figure what I was thinking is, just FYI, I would leave my truck in Cape May and then not try to pick it up until, just depends, but probably not until I get to Sandy Hook area. So then if we got somebody in the area, that would work out too. Look at that water change right there. Y'all see that? Go shallow over there. Yep. So we'll stay over here. So yeah, that's just a FYI. I know I got some people that's interested in meeting up in Chesapeake, and then if we could bounce through there, that'd be really cool. I've told you I'm gonna have opportunities for you to come on board. Some people that want to come, couples or whatever, if you're thinking, I have room, and there'll be obviously a fee attached to it to help. But if you've ever wanted to do an offshore section of that trip, and that video will be out just within days when I'm up here, I'll put that out. You'll be able to reach out. So anybody that's wanted to ever do a little offshore run like that'll be one, obviously, that's open. I'll be glad when this rocket's over with noise in my seat. Let's turn so we don't run into that marker there. We should be laying down here shortly, guys. That wind just picked up a little bit. That wasn't no windy. It's supposed to lay down as time went on. not picked up. You definitely see it though, gets better as we come around this point. Captain Sully, well, I found that if you throw enough money at a project or problem, you'll take care of it. Laughing out loud, that's true. That's a true statement. Of course, by this time, getting towards the end of the trip, my budget's getting lower and lower. So we're hoping that nothing major like that happens, for sure. Maybe Dad, our son took us on a tour of the Eisenhower a few years ago. It was awesome. That is cool. I'm a little jelly over that, for sure. Tim M, I've been itching to see live streaming the Dismal Swamp. Well, you'll see it, brother. Hang in there. Won't be long. Won't be long. That's actually one that if you had to do on one motor, it ain't like you're fighting it. You know what I mean, with the wind, so it's more doable. SOP Mod, hi Mike, thinking about leaving Las Vegas and moving, sorry, clicked off of that. Moving to Florida. I want to live on a boat and been looking for an older 35 or 42 Chris crab. How can I reach you for advice and guidance? Shoot me an email at mike@michaeljsteen.com. I'll pin that to the top, or if Kayak 7 Seas, if you happen to be watching, if you don't mind pinning that email. But it's Mike@michaeljsteen. I'll do it in just a second. Let me respond here. Labasu, $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. Did you have a question? I'd be happy to answer any questions you had. Yeah, SOP, MOD, or SOPMOD, I guess. I'd be happy to. I'd even talk to you. We'll put together a phone call. And you know what we can do? This will be a great idea. We will do. We'll do a live at 5 on that, and you can do a call in. We'll do a pre-talk, but that is a question I get a lot, and I will be happy to do. You can do a call in, and we'll do a live at 5 on that one. That'll be a great live at 5. So yeah, reach out to me, and we'll get that done. We'll handle that. I'll give you as much information as I can. You can pretty much have all your questions that you want to ask, and then obviously people in the stream can ask questions as well. That'll be a great video. Captain Sully, Loopers Live, good time videos. It's true. Loopers Live, good time videos. Or Loopers Live, good time TV. That's true. I gotta pay attention, guys. Now I'm getting into this channel. It's pretty tight. Let me show you the thing here. All right, let me scan now. You can see, pretty tight here. Gotta stay within the channel. Let me set this right quick as far as holy crap. I hate to say it, I think I set that at the wrong area. Let me back this out of the way where I can see what I'm doing here. I may have made a mistake, guys. May have just went further than I had to. I think I did. Holy crap! made a 10-mile mistake. Certainly did. Yep, up. Yep. Well, let's fix that. Alright, instead of, guys, I set that at the wrong place. I didn't scan in close enough to see, and I set that at the wrong place. Y'all just saw that live. Can you hide that one? That is a problem with sitting and talking. We got to go back out. It's just around that point right there. I went in the wrong point. Well, let's try this right quick. Let's drop the anchor for a second. Let's go down there and see if we can fix that. See if that solves this problem. All right, give me 1 second. Let me check something. All right, let me let that down for a second. We're gonna find out what that problem is. So basically I set that without scanning. Go back around that point. I think I was running my gator too much, not paying attention. All right, let me take it off of here. Guess if this catches. Make sure we're in plenty of water, which we are. Let's see if we can solve this problem. FYI, do y'all hear that wind blowing, or is that thing doing its job? My man Jim Red got to add that one to the bloopers reel. Yep. Oh, it won't be the first time it's happened. It won't be the last. Let me try to get this in this camera. I'll clean that finger in front of y'all. This holder for a second. Scan and see if we're moving. I'm going to turn on my... Take me about a second, but I'm gonna turn on my, do this without falling off the boat. I had this down because stuff falls over if you don't put it down. Move it back here. I don't see anything shooting out of the motor, and that's a good sign. So, I'm going to set this here where y'all can see. It's going to be hot. It's hot in here until that. Stop this. All right, y'all stand by, guys. Let me me hit the head. I'm about to buzz. I hadn't stopped yet. So, y'all should be good there without falling over. Check that screen. So I ain't talking to myself. It's true, I'm not. I'm fixing to change that out. I kind of got a rule that if I'm down a motor, if I can help it, unless I'm at a reach, and I'm down one motor, I'm not going to shut that other motor off until I got this one. You just never know. So, new coil. It'll take me but a minute. We'll know if that's what it is. Basically just got a negative and a positive. Make sure you get them right and you're pretty good. You won't have a problem. Biggest thing, you got to be very careful. Make sure you can get them wires back right. I don't want to move that any closer, but you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure you get those wires right. Wires have memory when you take them off. If you leave them in the same area, you should be okay. Alright, now's where the interaction comes. A lot of heat coming out of here. What's your guess? Does it crank after this? 1 yes, 2 no. Is it going to crank? 1 yes, 2 no. All right, 1 yes, 2 no's. Is it gonna crank? We're gonna know here real quick. door closes. Check something. Sure we didn't move too much. Who picked the 3? That's a safe bet. There you go. Let's find out. Let me grab this. Hang on one second. I'll let y'all watch. Coil wire. Coil wire, people. Coil. Excuse me. Coil. She's running. Just like that. Coil. Well, that is good to know. Let's get the sucker back underway because that's slamming my front up there. Yeah. That is I'll have to set for a second. I'll put you back up here real quickly. Success. Let's get you back into your mount. And let's get this thing moving where it'll quit the rocky rolly so much. Success, people. It's right around that point. I chose the wrong point. The reason is this is also a way, if you're going up to ICW on the inland side, you would go up that way. Damn it. Come on here now. That thing. Get y'all back in there. Y'all let me know how that wind is now. We're going to be in the wind for a minute. everything towing well. It is. Righty. Righty. Looks good. Back, let's turn this around. Now let me know how that wind is. I got that suck up there, or I got the thing on it. What the hell that is. Good thing is we're going to go right into the waves and then right around the corner. Be back around. I'm ready. Got to buy some stock in the coils. You got that right. Ain't too bad. You got to figure. I'm putting like, that's probably 400-500 miles I got out of that. How many's that on the car? Look at them waves there. It's rough. It's supposed to have been laid down by now. Alright, let me reset my tip to get around this point. Of what I'm doing is trying to help, like with sections and mechanical stuff, is I need to know what did you fix, what fixed it, what helped it. So when we were talking, I was like, well, I'll do the coil and then I'll try the ballast resistor next. So that'll be, obviously that's next. That'll happen here in the next couple of days and we'll find out. We'll go get us another coil just in case. Don't take no chances, and we'll change out the ballast resistor. Now someone's also sent me a picture of where that was. It's taken me a while to find it, so that's next. Getting a combination of that waterway and waterway. see the pink line right there? That's the ICW line. As I said, this is also part of the ICW, but a different one, not including the Dismal Swamp. Hopefully y'all can see that. So the other pink line, scan out. Should be a pink line to that one. Let's scan in and look at that one. All right, that's close as zoom I can get. This one shows the pink line here. See it here? That's also the ICW. Probably one of the few places that this would ever happen where you'd have pink lines like that. Usually it's not a problem. Usually you just, there's only one line and you just follow that line. That's typically never an issue, FYI. Wow, no wind noise. I'm surprised with all that wind. That sucked. This thing did it then. That's nice to know. That problem solved finally. As soon as we get out here towards this white, a little closer to the white, then we'll turn. We'll go back around this point and then we'll be back where we're supposed to be. Probably gonna cost us about 5 miles and 30 minutes. Hopefully if that's the worst thing that happens today, we'll be good. Definitely more crab pots here though. Gotta watch out for our crab pot. Now let me know if that wind noise gets too bad. I'm trying to get it up there where you can see a little bit. It'll help watch out for them crab pots going right in front of us. Much better though taking it on the bow. I'll show you later why there's another pink line here. There's something called the Albemarle Loop, which comes out of that river right there we were starting to go in. It comes out and around and back up where we're going. And I'll show you on the map where you can go up through the Dismal Swamp and around and back down. That's called the Albemarle Loop. So those are both ways that you can do the Great Loop. So I could have kept going that way, but I'd miss Elizabeth City, and I don't want to do that. The display next to my chart is the depth. That is the depth. Show you. This is the depth, and let me fix something here. It's showing you the bottom at 2 feet. That ain't true. Let me show you this. So select, scan in. There's the bottom at 12 feet. I just got, see, back, select one, select, there we go. Now we can scan in and out of this. See that other pink one right there, that pink line? There's one there and one right there. Depends on which way you want to go, which one you would come in. It's 4 miles to that right there. check that one, guys. Guess I can't have it that high when directly into the wind. Captain Sully. See some cool places from getting lost, I reckon. I guess I could have went on up in there, but I'm looking forward to Elizabeth City this evening. Everything's bucking back there, but it seems alright. Alright, I'm going to keep it low for a while. Alright, thank you, MR. My car. Y'all think for the wind advisory? I guess it doesn't work well enough to keep it straight up. You can still see where you're going though. Actually, you can see both. Might be a better spot anyways. Damn guys, appreciate them likes. We got 98 likes and 76 people. That's awesome. I know people had to go probably that liked it, and I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Alright, let me get something to drink. I'm thirsty. One of the challenges, y'all might say, man, you drink a lot. Well, one of the issues of being a diabetic is you're thirsty all the time. One of the downsides to it. Well, we just seen a good example of be prepared. Something happens, just chill and deal with it, fix it, move on. The problem is we got to beat back into this for a few minutes. I think the green that I'm turning on up there already. Probably about 30 minutes, I guess. We're doing good, 7.5. Actually feels good having the wind on me directly. It's definitely a lot better ride for sure. No rocking. So last night, and I'll show y'all why later in the video. Well, no, I have to show you that being a regular video. Last night I had to deploy a stern anchor as well, and I had wind, but I had wind-driven waves coming down the river, and it was creating a swell going into the bay where I was. So though the wind was holding me one way, I was getting swells pretty much sometimes when I turned on my side, and it was rocking me, of course. So I deployed a stern anchor and pulled my stern around so I could ride those a little better, and then it was much more comfortable. Matter of fact, I'm glad I did it, because I probably couldn't have slept. And then windy was right, because actually it sort of in the middle of the night, about 4 o'clock, it turned around like it said it was, came more out of the west, and then it kind of started then bringing me winds on my, again on the side, but from the opposite side. So I went ahead and got up this morning knowing I had time to do stuff, because I wasn't leaving until 11, and then I go ahead and move that, pull the anchor, and just let the wind push me around, and it was fine there again. So that does happen. Also, if you get in I'm going to show you this, if you get in a river, it's kind of a tight area, and let's say you're going to ride out a storm, but it's really pretty narrow, and in those areas you can have barges that need to pass you. But let's say you want to ride out a storm there, because it's real tight, you can deploy your forward anchor into the stern line, and you can set parallel right near the bank without any problems. Now, a lot of people get nervous about doing that, but if you set them right, it's no problem at all. I hear our jets. I hear the jets are back. I don't see them yet, but I hear them. Sounds like they're running right back down like they were. Alright, that's the point, right? That's the point. We're gonna go around right there, over there. Start turning back toward it. It's funny, it's these crab pots, the way they set them, obviously, excuse me, they'll set them in a line, and there was a line of them going right there a minute ago, so I had to turn to get away from them. Now I can start turning back and go right up the sound. Then we'll be able to move to the lee side of that. We won't have hardly any more waves. It'll lay down a good bit. But this is okay. I'm enjoying a little bit of wind. A little bit hot. Nothing wrong with this. My car, do the view, included the finder, nice to see depth. Alright, yep. Well, y'all can you see them good? Can you read them good? I can't quite tell them here. Actually, I can move it a little closer, and you can still see. Gotta not run into a crab pot here. I believe I see Elizabeth City, I think. That's some shipyards I'm seeing in Elizabeth City. It'd be off actually right behind this. Y'all couldn't probably see it anyways. Yeah, I think I see Elizabeth City. No, I didn't do that. I didn't try to restart it, but it didn't shut off for no reason. That's exactly what it was, but it would have been a good thing to try just to see, but I'm sure that's what it was. That's a good point, though. It is a good point. So I tell you what we'll do to see if it was the coil. I will once tomorrow I'll switch coils again and we'll try to start that engine with the old coil on there. That'd be an easy test, but that is a good test. I'll try that, because if so, it's more in line with like the ballast resistor getting hot or something getting hot. Tim M, been watching looper videos for a long time and looking for somebody to live stream it. Well, I'm glad you found this. We're going to keep on doing it. And if I can find some technology to get multiple cameras, and I've already, I can do it if I live stream from my computer. But the problem with the live stream from your computer is you eat up all your data. When you live stream from your phone, you're using your unlimited data. It's really the only way I can do it. So, So to wait until you get up around Grafton, Illinois, Alton, Illinois, St. Louis, and you see the legend of the Picasso bird. Legend has it, it is troops on the mariners and snatches them off of the deck of their boats. Oh my goodness. Well, bring it on. I'll tie myself down. I ain't worried. I ain't scared. Bring it on. I'll meet that sucker and see if he tastes like chicken. Need to get closer to the mic. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Kevin must be a military op. Jets are not showing on the exchange. Yeah, yesterday there was, like I said, it was 5 of them would be in a row. So that was only one. I ain't seen another one since. Hey, Jules said, have you tried LaCroix sparkling water? No sweeteners? No, haven't tried that. I have tried, in fact, damn, Jimmy Ray, wasn't the name of them ones we drink. I think it's pretty much the same thing, Jules. Shoot. What, the other thing that you probably don't see, I don't drink Diet Cokes and Sprite all the time. I always have, I don't say often, I always, but I can't say always, but most of the time I have Kool-Aid with no sugar, and I just mix it in the gallon jug. So my cup, most days and in the afternoons, I drink a few Diet Cokes in the morning, like I said, for my caffeine, but most days in the afternoons that y'all don't see, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. So whichever brands that I get that are no sugar, like Walmart has a brand, and they got pink lemonade. I usually get a cherry or Hawaiian punch, but that's usually in the afternoons actually. Well, I'm drinking till 5 o'clock, and then I might crack open a cold beer. You never know. Look at those fish on the screen. I ain't even seen none. I'm reading comments. Yes, Axel, you can make your phone a hotspot, but then it eats your data. If you turn your phone into a hotspot, that's how your data gets used up. So if you're watching, at least this is Verizon, I can't speak to everything else. But if you watch movies, for instance, on your phone, it does not affect your unlimited data in the Verizon plan. As soon as you turn your hotspot on in your computer and you watch that same video, movie, whatever, you're burning your data. So I can't do that. Shoot, one live stream would probably eat up my data for the month, probably. And I found that out the hard way back when I first was live streaming the 5 o'clock somewhere. So we're making our turn. We should be getting here behind this sound here. There's a white marker here. That's the entrance. It'll be a lighted marker. It blinks white. That'll be for your entrance of your waterway. And then there'll be a green marker, which, I don't know, can y'all see them on here? There's the green, there's the white. If you have an Android EDA net, will tether your laptop to your phone and use phone data only. Well, brother, I've never heard of that. Can you do me a favor? Let me screenshot this. Never mind. I'll do it. But I'll check into that. Because if I can get it where I can use my laptop, I can have multiple videos camera streams. That's always has always been the problem. I hope that's true. I'll find out. Captain Sully's been he says it's been a legend. When I was a kid, there's a great big huge bird painted on the bluffs to where you can see them from the river. If the trees aren't too high and pretty cool, it's just an old legend. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd absolutely be cool to see. I'll talk about it. I'll do a little research about it. I guess that's like that legend I'm talking about in the Dismal Swamp. But keep talking about sightings of the thing in there. Probably boaters seeing it. Much as that's really be the only people that be in there is boaters. We'll keep our eyes open. That'd be kind of cool. Whatever it is, we'll see if it tastes like chicken. Something odd. All right, buddy. I will definitely look into that. I will definitely look into that. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I was planning. I already planned to make me a laptop holder up here and all, so that when I was underway, I could switch cameras and you could see different views, just for increasing the experience. So I will research that while here in Elizabeth City. We'll find out about that. That'd be great. I'm guessing I'm on a line in one of these crab pots. Axel, Cypress Creek, best farm for fresh and fish restaurant in town, worth the price. Axel, I checked that out. You come out in Elizabeth City. Let me check my battery on this thing. I haven't looked at that in a while. 28. We're alright. I'd probably get down before we get finished and get an external battery. Plug it in. Captain Sully, I lived in the Mississippi River when I was a kid and loved it. Miss it, something fierce. I hear you, man. I hear you. To be excited, I've been thinking about planning like some different videos, and one of them will be for each year, like each section that I do on the loop. So obviously when we complete this one, you know, sort of winding down the summer already, I'm going to do the top 5 best spots of the Great Loop, you know, that I think in places you should see. So I'm sure when I get over on the southern, my third loop, which is 2023, when we're going down the Tennessee River, or going up the Tennessee River, I'm sure that's going to be one of my favorites. Obviously, when I go up and visit Mountain Man Jim Reddick, Propel. Hey, Jules, Propel, that's the name of that. But we get up Tennessee River. I love that area, man. That fresh water like that, that'll be so cool. That'll change, it'll be cool. Fresh water, it's a cool change. That's just the cool thing about the loop, though. There's always change. And that's a cool deal. It's never the same. I need to go down and do a check. Tell somebody hold on to this thing. I'm going to put this camera hopefully where it won't fall over. I'll be right back. guys, all is well in the engine compartment. We didn't run over any crab pots. That's a good sign. It's always a good deal. Alright, we're basically, when we pass this white light, I guess we would consider that being the Pasquatant River. So right up here, we would consider ourselves getting into, I think I remember that pronunciation as being correct, Pasquatant. Paul Bapper, thanks for the live stream. You're welcome, sir. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate that. Scott Wyatt, thank you, brother, for the super chat. Every little bell helps. Whoa, whoa, hold on. Hold on. To cover the one-time calls that the PDA net enjoy, USB tether is most reliable. Thank you so much. Everybody else will think that once I get it going, buddy. Very cool, Scott. Thank you, man. We gonna, hey, let me take a picture of that. Because I'm gonna call that the Scott Wyatt tether. That's gonna be forever known as the Scott Wyatt tether. Y'all notice when I put on my hat, Chris Turner got me. I call it the Chris Turner hat. I like to name things after people that helped out. So thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Scott said used them for years as an airline pilot, now a retired land yacht driver, RV, okay? You know, when I get my, when I do my camper build later for going out west, I have definitely got to make it mimic a boat for sure, for sure. I got to put my lights on it and everything, which, you know, got to be careful with that because you're only supposed to have certain color lights and stuff, but I definitely got to do something with that. Joe, Mike's living the dream. Yes, sir, I am. No doubt about it. I agree, man. I agree. 100%. Leroy, I enjoy your videos. Well, thank you, sir. I shall keep making them. We got us a partnership going here. It's a good one. I'll make them. Y'all watch them. That works out. John, he kind of missed the shot glass life. For those that don't know, I got it downstairs. I'll probably keep it just to tell stories about it, but my light, those ones you get from Walmart, this is a pretty substantial one. I'll let y'all know how long it lasts, but the one I had from Walmart's old plastic, sun gets to it, and it broke. So we got a new bulb because we went to 3 Walmarts trying to find it, and they didn't have any. So I had a bulb, I had a spare bulb, but so I said, I was like, we can put the bulb in there, but it's gonna rain, and it's gonna, you know, the rain's gonna help blow the bulb out. Let's get it all down in there. So me and Jimmy Reddick, Mountain Man Jim Reddick was on board. We're looking around, got the shot glass, put the shot glass up there, put the duct tape on it, and it worked for a while. It worked good. Then we did a shot out of that. I gotta tell you guys, that rum wasn't a good rum because it made me sick. That night I did the shot, I had probably 2 mixed drinks, and man, my stomach, I'm probably not drinking that one anymore. Alright, so yeah, we're turning up into the Pasquatant River, and I am 90% sure I am seeing either a bridge or I'm either seeing a bridge or is there a big bridge? I don't remember a big bridge up there. I was just up there a few months back, last year I guess. So I think I'm looking that far, maybe not on the near the Coast Guard station maybe. Either that or a naval yard or some kind of yard. Something huge. It's very tall, whatever it is. Like very tall. Laying down a little bit. Seems like. Trying to watch that starboard engine just to be sure if I see it acting up with the tachometer. Actually, if I hadn't made that navigational mistake a minute ago, we'd have probably been halfway up that river. But hey, can't look back. Look forward. Well, Captain Sully is correct. I've always had extra poles. Ballast resistors, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really even understand them too much till having these coil issues. But if I buy one, I'll buy two. That's for sure. Alternators are brand new. Water pumps are both brand new. I do have extra belts. Carburetor, I have a new or rebuilt carburetor down there that I'm planning on putting on the starboard engine, and then just keep that one as a spare, and then change the oil. Yep, I just changed the oil. Y'all know the other day, and I've got enough oil to do another oil change. I'll probably let that one go a little bit longer than I normally do, so that one will be done. I won't let it go as far as I did, let's put it that way. Starting to quarter in now. We're approaching the entrance light. Y'all see that? You can probably see it right up there. We're approaching the entrance light. That's what that is. We're about to pass it. And then I'm going to keep taking more of a northerly push, start turning slightly, because it's going to wind, the waves are going to get less and less. It's going to be nice. The major reason I don't like waves on good times is on your rigging. Y'all know that I got it turned around. That rigging there, you can see it moving, but I have different struts side to side. I got two of them front and back. have these, two of these, front for front and back, two for side to side, but you still have that movement. That's really what I don't like about it the most, to be honest with you. I'm trying to do something to turn this. Yeah, never mind. Let me just lower it a little bit more. Just trying to pick up just really nothing to look at out there anyways, to be honest with you. Just crab pots, and I got to keep my eyes on them. And Captain Sully, and some sections of hose most commonly used on your cooling system. Very good point. I definitely got them as well. Yep. The only thing I don't have, Cap, that I've been planning to get is they got that. I just haven't run across it. I figure I'll find it in a store and I'll buy it when I have it. Is they got that repair tape, but I also have, you know, redneck tape, duct tape, so I could use that. But hose repair tape, and I also have electric tape that can work for as well, at least for a short-term fix. Good thing about the Great Loop is you're not too far from a marina about anywhere in here to get it repaired, so that's the good thing. Yep, keep in mind, brand new stuff, especially out here, man. Especially out here. And we're gonna see about that ballast resistor. That's next. I hope that's what it is. I hope to just solve the freaking problem. I hope that's what it is. Alright, so I'll just bring it up for a second, but we're starting to turn back into it. Point comes out way over the end of the sea. You ever see the point maybe comes out there? We're turning going up there. We'll put it back down so you can hear me, but you can kind of see on here too. Couple of waves, but we're doing pretty good. Now we'll go ahead and stretch this up to see what the actual check something. We'll stretch this up to see about how far we got to go up the sound before we call this thing done today. Another big milestone getting to Elizabeth City. 16 miles to Elizabeth City. A little over 2 hours. The closer we get to this less waves, the faster we'll go. It is slowing us. Can't complain though, because yesterday I had the wind behind me and it was speeding me up. I made down Dismal Swamp. Did well. I'm making though for that shore on the other side as far as I can go, because it'll be way less windy over there. ton of excitement today. John's asking, this is clear crab pots. I'm always aware of what the wind or tide's doing, so at least a boat length. There's one coming on your right, you won't see it, but it's a boat length away. I figure with that, you're pretty safe, long as obviously the wind's in our face, so it's pushing those crab pot, the floaters straight back, like parallel to us. So if you passing it at least a boat length's parallel away, then you should be fine, because they're everywhere out here. I think you could always go further, but I've done that and I've always had good luck with it. Guys, I appreciate y'all following along today. I think I'm going to end the stream because it's windy and we got 2 more hours, about 2 more hours of that. There's not a whole lot to look at. And I'll be posting up a video tonight. You'll know that we are there, that I've got there. You'll know that I'm there. And we'll figure out our next live. I won't be moving for the next 4 or 5 days, whatever it ends up being. So some of these other things, ideas that we've had for the lives, I'll do probably some of them. Definitely do a walkabout. I wanted to probably tomorrow, because it's my first day there. I like to do the little walkabouts and drive-abouts, I guess. Bought me some new tennis shoes just for that. So tomorrow we'll look for a walkabout, saying that we're in the city, and you'll know we're there, and then we'll go from there. I planned on, like I said, spending 4 or 5 days, but every day I'll do a live. We're obviously doing the July 30-day live stream challenge, and that don't seem to be a problem, especially when we're moving. So it does kind of cool. It gives me a chance to do some content a little different, than just traveling. So I'll give y'all plenty of notice on what we got going. Probably try to work on a little schedule for the week, and I'll get that out there. We'll see how that goes. But I appreciate y'all riding along. Y'all know it's a partnership. I'll make them. Y'all watch them. It's working out good. I appreciate all the super chats. It's very helpful. I appreciate all my Mud Club members. Y'all are helping out more ways than you know. It's been tremendous help. And all this watching, guys, it's an amazing deal. And we're going to keep it going just absolutely as long as we can. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. As I tell you, I got to get back to it, because we know what tomorrow's going to be, don't we? Tomorrow's going to be a good time.